Hey everybody, why am I wearing a jacket? It's because I'm testing out this microphone with the magnetic clip and I want to see how it sounds. All right, so the reason I'm talking to you guys, we're going to be releasing a couple bonus episodes coming up. We're doing a new thing called the either retro or vintage Funbammies, as we decided to call it. Obviously, every year we do the best of the previous year and we call it the Funbammies. Well, we decided that in the summer, halfway through the year, we would do the same thing for a year, decades in the past. So we thought that'd be really fun to look back and do the best of 2001 and talk about our lives at the time and talk about our favorite stuff from the time. Favorite movies, TV shows, music, books, video games, and of course, mostly personal stuff. So this was actually something we started on the last podcast, the Chuck and Brad podcast, and we already did years 1997, 98, and 99. So we are releasing them on the feed as bonus episodes so that when we do the year 2000 for the Funbammies, that you guys will be all caught up with our other ones that we've done. And so that way you have it in the feed. So this is 1997. And man, we haven't listened to it. It was originally 2 parts, but now we cut it into one big file because we didn't want to have to release 1,000 episodes as bonuses. But we'll also do 1998, and we'll also do 1999 as bonuses, and then the year 2000, of course, which will be brand new. And we don't want to bombard you, so we're putting a couple weeks in between all these. So it's not like this week you get 97, next week 98, then 99, then 2000. We know that you don't want a month of Funbammies. So we'll be separating all this stuff and doing our normal episodes in between, obviously, because these are bonuses. But I just wanted to fill you in on the reason we're putting this up. And yeah, enjoy 1997 and get ready for 1998.
Hello and welcome to Agreeing to Disagree, the Chuck and Brad podcast.
I am Chuck.
I am Brad.
How you doing, Brad?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to jump into this.
This is a special podcast.
All right, Brad, you explain what the Brammies and Chammies are.
The Brammies and Chammies are there we are.
Yeah.
End of the year awards, our best of in movies, TV, music, games, personal life, whatever.
We do it every like the end of December, beginning of January, every year about the previous year.
Right, and that's how we started, something to talk about, and just a way to get excited and kind of review the previous year and look forward to stuff for the next year.
Yep.
So this year, early on, January, February, Chuck said, it would be a good idea if in July we did a Chammies and Brammies for 15 years ago.
For every like halfway through the year, we do a 15 years ago Brammies and Chammies.
Right.
Of course, there is the problem that in 15 years we'll already have done this year's Brammies and Chammies.
Right. When we get to episode number 800 of the Chuck and Brad podcast.
But for now, for the next few years, the next dozen or so years,
Yep.
Every July, we're going to do the Brammies and Chammies from 15 years past.
Yep.
So welcome to the episode that I'm going to call it the Brammies and Chammies flashback.
Okay, that's perfect sense.
Yep, 1997.
Wow.
I know, a long time ago. Now, the thing is, me and Brad, in real life, we seem around the same age, and there's a 6-year age difference.
Yep.
But the further you go back, the further you see that we experience different things at different times.
That's true.
So in 1997, I went from being 12 years old to 13 years old.
And I went from 18 years old to being 19 years old.
Very, very different points in time in someone's life.
Different developmental stages.
And you know what? I think that might make this way more interesting.
I hope so.
Because that way our experiences aren't exactly the same.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't like then. We both remember this in the same way. Yeah.
Exactly. This was played at my junior prom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen for this stuff. It's going to be different from person to person.
I didn't go to junior prom. I was working that night.
Oh, we'll get to it.
As I was on most of my proms.
My junior prom was a debacle, to say the least.
Nice.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna kick it off with our first category, which is music.
Excellent.
And should we give a short overview of who we were at this point in time? 1997. What was our lives like? Should we start with that?
Sure. Just a brief overview,
Sure.
Because I know we're going to hit it a lot harder as we
go on.
through.
The thing is, just to make it clear for people, we are going to do our normal best of music, TV, movies, video games, stuff like that. But because it was so long ago and there's kind of like spots missing here and there,
Right.
And because it's kind of also a nostalgic thing, we're also going to bring in a lot more personal stuff from that time because during the normal Brammies and Chammies, if we do 2012 Brammies and Chammies, the whole year we bring up our personal stuff.
Right.
This is our chance to revisit our younger selves, 12, 15 years ago. All right. So basically, 1997. Let me think about this. All right. I was in 7th grade.
Right.
Going into 8th grade? Yes. No. I was in 6th grade going into 7th grade.
Oh, wow.
Because I know that I left St. Phil's in 98. Actually, no, yeah, all right. That makes sense. 98 to 2002. Okay, yeah, all right. So 7th to 8th.
Okay.
I was 12 going on 13.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So basically, when I was that age, I went to a private school in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, called...
I feel like you had a super long bus ride to get there. Is that true?
that comes later on.
Okay.
That was when I went to LaSalle.
Okay.
In Providence. When I was 12 and 13, I went to St. Philomena's school. There was a long waiting list to get into the school. So I was on the waiting list when I entered kindergarten, and I didn't get in until I was in 3rd grade. So I went to St. Philomena's from 3rd grade until 8th grade.
Okay.
And because the school is about, let's say, 30 minutes from where I lived in Bristol, a lot of my friends didn't live near me at all.
Okay, so you were kind of isolated.
Yeah. So in terms of high school, when I went to school in Warren and lived in Warren, or no, Bristol. When I lived in Bristol and went to school in Bristol, and just for our listeners, Bristol and Warren are kind of like side by side and very small. So
Like Dyer and Cherville.
sure, yeah. And when you're in high school, like if you go to the same high school in your town, everyone kind of lives near each other. You can walk to here.
Right.
You get to really develop these personal relationships in ways like that. But when you commute to school, and I didn't take the bus, my mom drove me every day. There was a carpool a lot of times with Patrick, who went to the same school with me, my cousin and good friend of ours. St. Phil's was a Catholic grade school. Like where I said, where all my friends lived kind of far away. There was, Portsmouth, Newport, Fall River, places like that. I had some close friends. I had like a group of friends there, which we'll go through that in a little bit. But really, I feel like I was a pretty late bloomer in terms of like when I was 13, like I shouldn't be fingering someone yet, right?
I don't think so.
When do you think? Like 15, 16?
Probably 16, like after you get a car.
Yeah, you should finger someone in your car.
In your car.
Yeah.
Or on your car.
I'm a late bloomer. I don't think I fingered anybody until I was 18.
Okay.
I lost my virginity at 20, and I didn't really make out with anybody until I was 17.
Okay.
Which is also late. So 13 and 12, I'm kind of, a horny young man, interested in girls. That was kind of a big thing for me. I liked a lot of girls, and I wasn't doing anything about it. I wasn't doing the right things about it.
Right.
And I had my friends, but I also, like I said, I lived far away from my school, so I spent most of my time either by myself or with Christian.
Right.
Sometimes with my other friends from Philippines.
Christian, another cousin, also the drummer for Senior Discount.
Yep. I mean, we're going to get into the people more as we go on, but that's who I was.
Okay.
I lived with my parents at 12, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
But commuted to school, didn't have a lot of friends in the area, spent a lot of time probably by myself with my cousin Christian, with my parents and my brothers, Denny. My brother Denny is 5 years younger than me.
Right.
So, around the ages of 12 and 13, I was definitely hanging out with Denny all the time.
Right.
And we went to school together, commuted together. So me and my brother spent a lot of time together growing up.
Right.
But that's who I was. 12 and 13, young boy, going through puberty, discovering my dick. I don't know.
Right.
Right. Discovering my dick for some reason.
Oh, there it is.
It sounds different than what I mean.
In 1997, I was 18, going on 19. My birthday's in July, so the first half of the year, I was finishing my freshman year at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. I lived on Wyckoff, in Wyckoff Hall on the second floor, and it was like just a group of guys that we all reasonably got along with one another. Some of us formed close friendships, some of us didn't.
And you weren't like an authority figure there.
I was not. I was a freshman. Which
is rare for you.
I applied to be an RA after one semester. I did not get it. That'll come up. But that was the year.
So really, if there was a time for you to do some irresponsible things and finger
right. None
co-eds.
of that happened. The first semester,
what does co-ed mean? Just before we go on.
girls that go to a co-ed school.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. As
Like
far as
a sexy co-ed?
Sure.
See, that's weird to me.
Yeah, well, it's a college girl, basically, a sexy college girl.
Okay, but
Yeah.
why co-ed?
I don't know.
Because I know what co-ed actually means. It's
Right.
a co-ed dorm, whatever.
Right.
You didn't live in a co-ed dorm.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. Well, originally Wyckoff Hall was all male, like for years and years and years and years.
You lived in a co-ed dorm?
And so in 96, 97, my freshman year, that was the first year that women lived in Wyckoff. They lived on the first floor, but the basement floor was kind of like half the floor, and that was males. And then I was on the second floor. Third and fourth floor were all males. And so to get to my room, I would always walk through the first floor and see which girls were home. Be like, oh, hey, what's up, Donna, Megan, Lisa, whatever. And
it was like Mambo number 5.
yeah, and I'd be like, oh, all right, this is quicker to get to my room. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, no, it's not. I just want to see who's home.
Yeah.
But at this point, like, I definitely hung out down there a lot more first semester and tried to like get to know all the girls. And then second semester, I definitely hung out more with the guys because none of the girls were having any of this. So it was a learning experience. And so the first half of 97, I was spending time with all these guys on my floor. And, that's when I changed my major from engineering to communications because I had friends who were communications majors and I wanted to be able to finish in 4 years because that's what I thought my scholarship was for. I have no idea if they would have paid for a 5th year or not, if I could have changed to business. And I just never asked.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I'm on full tuition. Like, my parents can't afford this school. So I'm going to say, communications I can finish in 3 more years. I'm going to be a communications major.
Wow.
And that was how I made my decision.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And I'm a communications minor.
Hooray.
Yeah. I guess.
Then went to, then that summer I worked. I didn't have a job when I got home, and I didn't really want to go back to the pizza place
Really?
where I'd worked for years and
I
years.
feel like right now you'd love to go back to the pizza place.
I would love to because I love pizza.
Right.
But that summer I didn't. I wanted to feel like I wanted to make more money was what it was.
Okay.
And my friend's dad had a company where they manufactured satellite dishes, not satellite receiver dishes, but like broadcasting, like the big 8-meter ones
Right.
that you'd see outside of a DirecTV affiliate,
Yeah.
whatever. And my brother had worked there previously. My cousin worked in the shop there, and I think our family connection helped him get the job. Where I was like, oh, my friend's dad has this. Do you think you'd want to do it? And he applied, and he was the foreman, and he was good at it.
Yeah.
And then I worked there for the summer. And while I was there, I learned a lot about pot. I learned, I met people who snorted drugs, which I never, to my knowledge, met before. And I did a lot of growing up that summer.
I didn't meet any people that snorted drugs in Mr. Baker's science class.
Okay. And then,
I mean, they probably do now.
right.
I don't know.
That fall, I was an assistant resident advisor. Which is, the same as an RA, except instead of 1 office hour a week, you sat 4 office hours a week.
Yeah.
And instead of getting room and board, you got just room or just board, I forget which.
Yeah.
And you had a roommate, whereas RAs had singles.
Yeah.
So it was Carl and me were the two he was the RA, I was the ARA on our floor, and he was in a fraternity. And so he spent a lot of his time doing stuff with them throughout the year. And so I definitely was present on the floor more than him and made these connections throughout the year. And, I'm not saying he was a bad RA, just we had very different styles where I would just go lay on the couch in somebody's room without asking them, while they were watching TV. He was a little more formal, a little more reserved about it. And yeah. But I made a lot of strong friendships through the RA position, and that's why I'm in student affairs now, because I enjoyed my time as an RA and an ARA so much. And that's where it started on the Williams Hall 3rd floor, where it was a co-ed floor. If you imagine 2 L's kind of back to back, and in between the a capital L, and they're facing the other way. So I guess half of a swastika.
Or okay, all right, yeah.
And but in between there was a common room with a TV, the laundry room, a girl's bathroom at one end, a boy's bathroom at the at the other part of the intersection, and the other side of the floor was the Chi Omega block, which was where all the girls in the sorority Chi Omega, if there was no room for them in the house, they lived on Williams 3. And so I had issues with the Chios going into the year where I thought they had made fun of me the year before. And so I was like, I hate them. I'm going to take any chance I have to get them in trouble. And of course, they were all sweet and wonderful and kind for the most part. Right. And I had no reason to write most of them.
They were half Nazis.
Yes.
They designed this floor.
Yes. So yeah, that's where I was in 97. The
nice.
Changing major was a big one, and so when the fall semester started, I was taking all these intro to communication courses with all these freshmen, And, my friends were taking all these sophomore communications courses that I would take either the next semester or the next year and kind of catch up to them. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Music is our first big topic.
Yeah, our big first thing
All
is
right.
music.
It'll
And
be
we're gonna
fun.
go with traditional Brammies and Chammies categories,
Right.
for the most part.
Yeah, where we have them.
But there's some stuff that's a little bit spotty for us, like books is a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But music, crystal clear.
Yeah,
All right. Are you ready to jump into this?
I am.
Okay. So first category is favorite new artist. 1997 music. Favorite new artist.
I've got it. You ready?
Yeah.
Ben Folds 5.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's when the album Whatever and Ever Amen came out.
See, I never got into them at all. So
But
I
I
have no
feel
idea.
like their huge single was Brick, and I don't know when that came out.
Yeah, I don't know that it came out either.
But I feel like there was a different song that I liked previously.
Yeah.
And then I got really, I don't want to say really into them, because people who are into Ben Folds are really into Ben Folds.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that album. But that was probably the following year. That was more fall 98, spring 99 with Anthony Messina in his dorm room jamming out. But for what it was worth, I really, really enjoyed Ben Folds 5
Nice.
as a new artist
Right.
in 97.
All right, my favorite new artist. I have two answers. One is which one was my favorite, and
Right.
which one should have been my new favorite.
Okay.
All right. Was the Wallflowers,
The Wallflowers are your favorite new artist.
because they came out with the album Bringing Down the Horse.
Yep.
And they had the song Sixth Avenue Heartache.
Yep.
And One Headlight.
Right.
Which are awesome songs.
Yes, they are.
To this day.
Yeah.
But they were great, like sad songs, and I loved them. And I listened to them endlessly.
I believe I purchased that CD through the BMG Music Club.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
Thank you.
Should have been. It should have been Everclear. This is the point in time where I should have discovered Everclear.
Okay.
Because they came out with the album So Much for the Afterglow.
Yes.
And they released the singles Father of Mine, I Will Buy You a New Life,
Yep.
which is probably just called like New Life. Or
No, it's
something.
called I Will Buy You a New
Oh
Life.
really?
Yep.
And then Watch the World Die. What's that called?
Nope. That's called Santa Monica, and that was on Sparkle
That was
and
a
Fade.
different-
Yeah.
a different album?
That came out in 95 or 96.
That was older than that?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Anyways.
It had Everything to Everyone, I Will Buy You a New Life, Father of Mine.
Everything to Everyone is the other one that I was thinking about. My bad.
And they had, I guess, their instrumental song El Distorto de Melodica won an award, maybe a Grammy. I'm not really clear on that one.
Right. But those songs are awesome.
I listened to that album this morning to get psyched up for this 1997 flashback.
Here's the thing is, I love those songs on the radio.
Yeah.
But something must have turned me off about the band, or I don't know what. I never, ever listened to an Everclear album.
Really?
Even though those songs were so awesome to me.
Yeah.
Such good pop songs, such good like music in general. Never got into Everclear.
Huh, interesting.
Right? Should have been my favorite new artist.
I have more about Everclear later.
Okay, good. What splintered me back then? Who knows? All right. Best moment in music of 1997.
I don't have a best moment.
Oh my God, do I?
What is it? What is it? Pray
All right.
tell.
You're gonna laugh at me.
I hope so.
December 25th,
That's Christmas.
1997.
Uh-huh.
I get a CD.
Oh, man. What CD is it?
Chumbawamba Tub Thumping. wait. And I get a video game.
Okay.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Ooh.
Barely made it to 1997.
That's true.
It was a holiday release.
Yes.
And I sat in my room playing Diddy Kong Racing and listening to Tub Thumping on repeat. And in my head, I was like, life cannot get any better than this right now.
That is fantastic.
And I played Chumbawamba this morning and played Diddy Kong Racing, and I was like, life cannot get.
I have a
I specifically remember that thought.
Right.
I remember the chair I was sitting in. I remember the TV I used.
Yeah.
I remember everything about it.
That's great.
crazy, right?
That's great. I remember stuff from Christmas '98, which we'll get to next July.
year,
Yeah. With specifically music and another media at the same time. I don't know that I thought life cannot get any better than this, but I definitely was conscious of my thoughts at the time. So.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting. Now,
Crazy, right?
is Tub Thumping the album or just the song?
I think Tub Thumping is the name of the album.
Okay.
And I'll say this, and fuck anyone who thinks differently. Tub Thumping is an amazing single.
Yeah.
That's a great song. Like it was
That
played.
and that, for those of you who aren't, for those of you who hear Chumbawamba don't remember, but that's the one. He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a
Yeah, and
cider drink. He
I mean,
drinks
the
yeah.
most memorable part of
Right.
the song is "I get knocked down,
Yeah,
and I
that's
get
it.
up again.
Yeah.
You're never gonna keep." Now that song was played ad nauseum
Oh,
for a
yes.
while.
Oh, yes.
So I think it's one of those hated pop songs.
That has come around again, and people are like, oh, "I loved this song."
Really, you think so? I
I
was gonna
do.
say it's the opposite, where people like one of those songs where it's like, you know, there are some songs that are good pop songs, but they get played so much that people hate them.
Right.
And that's like I thought that was a largely hated song, but I love that song.
I feel like if you were to karaoke to this song, everyone in the bar would go nuts.
I love
once
it.
they realized.
Maybe
and
Senior
sing along.
Discount will play at a show.
Oh man,
that would be
one
crazy.
can only hope. Yes,
That would be crazy. Maybe we'll do like a dramatic piano version of it.
that'd be funny. A beautiful, like
Sonata.
haunting melodic. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Best surprise of 1997 musically.
I don't have a musical surprise that year.
Here's what attracted me, and it surprised me that it attracted me in '97.
Uh-huh.
Busta Rhymes, "When Disaster Strikes."
Wow.
With "Dangerous" and "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See."
Okay.
I love those two songs. I think they're awesome, awesome hip hop songs. I've always thought that. And it's weird. It's just weird that in 1997, like, you know, I'm sure we will go back and cover some older years.
Right.
But being who I am now and what I'm drawn to musically in terms of writing, obviously it has to do with like rock and roll and punk
Right.
rock and stuff, alternative, if you will. And but my biggest influence is pop music and always
Right.
has been. And so a lot of hip hop kind of falls under that, sort of, but sort of not.
Right.
So before 1997, I was into No Doubt and
Right.
Aerosmith and Green Day
Yep.
and all these bands that I, as much as I say I was into them, I was only 12 years old.
Right.
Or,
So-
or 11 or 10.
Right. So how into them can you really
Exactly.
be? And
Exactly. But for When Disaster Strikes to come out, and he's so good. Busta
Yeah.
Rhymes is awesome on those songs. Fuck raps. It's so
Yeah.
good. It's so good. To attract me that much, where I'm like, man, like I love these songs. I want to listen to them and hear it again. Like it's just it was a surprise.
right.
Now here's a quick fact that I thought was bizarre. I saw on someone's Facebook profile recently, and the person put, "Dangerous, we're so dangerous. Too much of us is dangerous."
Right.
Like the whole chorus of "Dangerous."
Right.
And they're like, "Does anyone else remember that PSA?" And I'm like, "Does anyone else remember that PSA?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What does that mean?" So I searched "Dangerous, we so dangerous PSA,"
Right.
YouTube.
Uh-huh.
In like a long time ago, I don't even know what year it was. There was like basically like a Muppet PSA about taking pills, and it was for kids.
Wow.
Like finding pills, like I guess like in their parents' drawers. You know how that used to be a
Right.
concern.
Yeah.
And it was this song that's like we're dangerous, too much of us is dangerous.
Really?
And it's the Busta Rhymes took that and he made that the chorus of "Dangerous," but like obviously with a different right. I was blown away by this, and it's the exact same thing. Too much of us is dangerous. Like everything in all the words of this.
Wow.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yes.
And it's weird because you think I was 12 in '97. People who were 27 in '97
Yeah.
must have known the PSA,
Right.
But I've never heard anyone mention it
No.
ever.
I had no idea.
It's crazy, right?
Yes, it is. It's
If you're listening to this, go to YouTube and put in "dangerous pills" PSA or something like that.
Yeah.
Or put in some of the words we're so dangerous. Too much of us is dangerous.
and then compare it to the Busta Rhymes "Dangerous."
yeah, it's the exact same words. It's like it's like a whole
Wow.
chorus.
That blew my mind.
Me too. When I saw it, I was like, what?
That's my biggest musical surprise of 2012.
Yeah, right? It's crazy. But I loved it. I love "Dangerous." I love "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See." And there's actually a couple remixes of "Dangerous since then. I think that there's one on the Stars and Stripes CD, which is like a free download of all the White Stripes instrumentals mixed with hip hop vocal stuff. And there's also another one that Sousa showed me that's awesome of "Dangerous." It's a remix. But those songs are awesome. I love them.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, favorite comedy song 1997. What do you got?
I didn't write anything down. I didn't remember when any of the Adam Sandler CDs came out.
Lonesome Kicker came out in 1997.
Good.
by Adam Sandler.
I knew there was an Adam Sandler CD that came out around then. I didn't know what songs were on it.
It was "What's Your Name?"
Okay.
And I love Lonesome Kicker. I think the piano in it is
Piece of Shit
awesome.
Car on there, or Steve Polychronopoulos.
I think that "Piece of Shit Car" is on "What the Hell Happened to Me."
Okay.
But the Goat song is on "What's Your Name?"
Okay.
About the goat from
Right.
the other CD.
Yeah.
Lonesome Kicker was about just a kicker on a football team.
Yeah.
And I love all the stuff in that. Where I don't know. For some reason, I love that song.
It's a funny song.
It's a really funny song, and it's also a good song. Like the piano is good, the saxophone's good. That was my favorite comedy song.
Nice.
All right. Oddest music I enjoyed. What do you got?
The X Games Volume 2 soundtrack has some very alternative music, some hip hop stuff, some kind of experimental alternative stuff. And I'm not saying the music is odd. I'm saying that it's odd that I enjoyed it.
Right.
But I loved that CD. I played it, in as much as I had I guess if that CD is the anthem of my summer and fall, kind of like going back to school. I remember being in my room in Williams by myself and listening to Superman by Goldfinger and the song. There's some other songs that we'll get to later, and I listened to that CD this afternoon, and I was like, man, like it's so odd that I'm like, oh sure, a remix of Welcome to the Terror Dome is the perfect music for 19-year-old white Brad.
Yeah. I want to meet 19-year-old black Brad.
He made some unfortunate choices. He got a girl pregnant. He got a white girl pregnant.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got white Brad pregnant. How did these two meet? Oh, all right. Oddest music I enjoyed. My runner-up. I loved all the Jewel songs that came out in 1997.
That's not odd at all. Those are great songs.
Foolish Games.
Yes.
Okay. I love those songs. I love that. Like there was 3 singles: Foolish Games, You Were Meant for Me, and one more.
None of them came out in 96?
Oh man, I don't know.
Okay.
I will say that this is like
the Pieces of You album is definitely like I associate that with my freshman year.
Okay.
It was either late 96 or early 97. So I'll give you those.
Yeah.
I loved that CD.
Right. Yeah, me too. Winner,
What's a winner?
Spice Girls. I love the Spice Girls.
Oh, I want to zig a zig.
1997.
Yeah.
Me too, man. Oh, it was like
Now wait a minute. I think you and I have had a conversation before. I just want to get this,
Yep.
on record. Who was your favorite Spice Girl?
Okay, my favorite Spice Girl was by like leaps and bounds.
Wait. Let's count up. Who was your least
I was
favorite
thinking the same
Spice?
thing. Scary Spice.
Okay.
Gotta go with Scary Spice.
I'm gonna say Sporty Spice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. So second least favorite for me, Sporty Spice.
Scary Spice.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're back and forth.
So we have the same top 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Victoria Beckham is next.
Yeah, it's Posh Spice.
Posh Spice, and then Baby Spice.
I see. I had Baby Spice, then Posh Spice.
The thing is, Posh Spice. Now you're thinking of it,
No.
but in 1997,
No,
really?
I was so attracted to her back then.
Okay.
Yep.
And then my number one, Jerry
Gin-
Halliwell.
yeah, Ginger
Sexy
Spice.
Spice
Yeah,
for adults.
yes.
Ginger Spice for children.
Ginger Spice for me, for 19-year-old me. Sexy Spice for 13-year-old Chuck.
12.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I had such a crush on the redheaded Spice Girl, Jerry Halliwell. Oh my God! Like, yeah, don't know.
I found
can't
out at some point during that year that she had done nude modeling, and I
Me
saw
too.
pictures, and that was when she became my favorite.
Yeah, you know what's weird too? I remember thinking like, oh man, she's so much older than the rest of them.
Right.
But she was 25 in 1997.
Nice.
So it's like,
Yeah.
how old were the other ones?
Right.
They must have been all the same age, probably.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. Maybe Baby Spice was young, and that's why they call her Baby Spice.
Sure.
I would hope. But I love the Spice Girls. I loved "Wannabe." I love that song. Then I loved not "To Become One," but if you put 2 and 2 together, you will see.
Which was
what
the video
friendship is for.
where was the video
Oh.
that they were in the desert with the
That's
boomerang?
one.
Okay.
Yeah. Going around in circles.
Yeah.
This is show me. What the hell is the chorus?
I don't know.
Even if fool to say you love me.
Man, you're such a Ginger Spice right now.
Left unsaid. I'll give you everything in this, I swear. Just promise you'll always be there.
Was it something about always be there?
Giving you everything.
Yeah.
The point. Man,
Yeah.
maybe it's always be there or
Yeah,
something like that
something like
about
that.
being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video. It's weird because that song's a weird song. It's okay.
Right.
But that video with them in the silver,
Yep.
like, booty shorts and like bras or whatever,
Yep.
she's like shooting like lasers and like
Yeah, it
it was bizarre. But I loved that shit. I loved that CD. I loved all their fucking songs. And here's something I'm gonna throw in here that
Good.
maybe this doesn't apply to you at all. Maybe you're gonna be dumbfounded. Do you know what the music channel The Box is?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And let me tell you why I know that.
Now is this 97?
No, The box, you could call in and request a video,
And
and
it was
cost,
like 99 cents.
yeah, something like that, and maybe they'd play it. I don't really know.
They play it, but you
Yeah.
have to wait.
Right. And that was where I had seen the video for the band Extreme had a song called "Get the Funk Out,"
Yeah.
and I loved it because it sounded like it was swearing. And I only heard it on the box. I only saw it on the box. I never saw it on MTV. And also the Prodigy song, is it Smack My?
Bitch Up.
That was played on the box because it had naked breasts and MTV wouldn't play it or something.
Same
So
thing with Put 'Em on the Glass.
okay. So if you wanted to see these videos, you'd
Well,
have
you'd
to.
have to watch them after 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
That's what it would be. If you
All right.
request them after 10, they play them with the boobs.
Got it.
But I feel like the box I turned on all the time. They don't have the boxes. That's a viable idea still, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not.
Well, we were at
The
what's it-
idea that you could turn on, because you can go on YouTube and watch any music video
that's
for
true.
free.
we were at the Attleboro Mall, and it was like mall videos. You can text this code to this number and watch the fun video, or and you could kind of choose within the food court.
Yeah.
I don't know again, but they did play the fun video 3 times while we were there eating, so I'm guessing it was taking requests from somewhere.
And I was just kept texting and texting
Yeah.
as me. Yeah, I love the Spice Girls. I wanted to, like in my head, I was like, there's definitely something deep inside me that's just like wants to fuck a hot redheaded girl. Like I've had that since I was 10
I don't
years
know
old.
how deep inside you it is. It seems like it's floating right near the surface.
Like that was in me for a long time. And like I think it's the redheaded thing because I also had this like
Man, I'm gonna go out and seduce a redhead just to make you jealous.
okay. I had
You'll be more proud than jealous.
I will. When I was in my freshman year of high school, there was a redheaded girl who was 15, and
Right.
at the time that was 2
Her name
years
was
older than me.
Peppermint Patty. Yeah.
Her name was Alicia,
Okay.
and I fantasized about her like intensely and often. And she would wear this skirt where she had to wear a skirt, which is like it's a skirt with shorts under it.
Right.
But she would always bend over her desk, and I sat behind her in this class.
Right.
And I saw her vagina on multiple occasions.
Wow.
Like she wore it without underwear or something. I don't know.
Wow,
what
that's
happened.
bizarre.
And that was the first vagina I ever saw face
Right.
to face.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Face to
face to
face.
face, yeah.
No, that makes sense.
And I don't know, something in me has this deep attraction to like redheaded girls. And so like Jerry Halliwell was probably the first time where I was like I get horny to the point where I'm like I don't know what to do with myself. Like
Well,
I feel like strangling myself a little bit or something.
I mean, you know what to do with yourself,
But
and you do it with yourself.
I've seen you
Yes.
figure out what to do.
Ah,
But
you,
Jerry
you
Halliwell.
shoved me out a window. By the time I come back in the door, you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
better now."
But I was so into her. It was like crazy. But yeah, I really love the Spice Girls. I love that song.
Okay.
I loved Wannabe, and then I enjoyed the other 2 songs.
See, I feel like
and I never saw Spice World. I wasn't interested. I don't know why.
Oh man, we should watch that.
Isn't that
soon.
weird though?
Yes,
What
it
a
is.
weird thing. Because you're so into the Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, I feel like you, like I certainly didn't like the Spice Girls at the time,
Yeah.
but that was more like posturing. Like they're catchy songs, and it was like I'm a guy. Like
Yeah.
I think they're hot, but I think their music sucks.
Well, you're 19. at the
Right,
time,
and
too.
I'm like, oh, rock music is where it's at. What about, and I'd name these
Yeah.
heavier bands.
I mean, it's funny because I had that too. Like, it was embarrassing to like
Yeah.
Bye Bye Bye.
Right.
You know what I mean? The NSYNC song.
Yeah.
I don't even know when it came out. Probably like 2000 or something like that. 2001. But I was like that as well eventually. But for some reason, Spice Girls were cool.
Yeah.
To me, like maybe it was one of those things. You know, I've always been kind of like, I like what I like.
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't get it, like I don't care. I love dancing around like a gay dick.
Yeah.
Maybe I just had that back then.
Okay.
Maybe my friends didn't like it, and that's
Right.
how I felt. All right, let's see. Stand Up. I have a good one.
I don't have anything.
Runner up was What's Your Name by Adam Sandler,
Okay.
which didn't really have stand up on it, but it was a comedy album. Winner was Chris Rock's Roll with the New, which was like a seminal comedy album that had the N words versus black people.
Right.
I'm not going to say the word. It had Toss to Salad. That was on that.
Yep.
There was a lot of stuff on that. They had No Sex in the Champagne Room.
Right.
And I loved that CD when I was a young boy.
Right.
And it's still an awesome stand-up set.
Yeah.
I love Chris Rock.
Nice.
Okay.
Did we skip over best concert?
I deleted the topics that I didn't have an answer for,
Okay.
so maybe.
I see. I didn't go to a concert in '97,
Neither
but
did I.
on November 16th, 1996,
Okay, close enough.
Brent, my brother, his friend Steve, and I went to see Pantera, Biohazard, and the band Neurosis at the Peoria Civic Center.
How was that?
Heavy.
Yeah.
We had seats. We weren't down in the pit or anything, so we got to like pay attention to the show. And you know, all the previous shows they had been in the pit.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, it was a really different experience because you really get to like
Listen to everything.
you see everything and you hear and you listen to everything. Like none of it. We didn't really like the opening band Neurosis. And then Biohazard came out, and I loved Biohazard. They were heavy, they were kind of rap influenced, and their song "Punishment" remains one of my favorite like get psyched up songs.
Yep.
And so they played that. I'm like, oh man, like I'm so glad I got to hear one of my favorite songs played live. And then I noticed there was a guy from my chemistry class, a huge guy, like 6'6", 250, you know, like buff guy in the athletic fraternity, all that stuff. And I'd seen him wear Sepultura shirts before, but I was like scared to talk to him because he was so intimidating.
Yeah.
I saw him down in the pit at one point, and I'm like, oh man, that guy's in my chemistry class, whatever. And I remember seeing him between Biohazard and Pantera, and that's why I brought it up then. Pantera came out, and they were excellent, like crazy, as you'd expect. And then like for their encore, they played Planet Caravan, and Phil Anselmo sat on stage and smoked a joint, and I was like, that's the most rebellious thing I'll ever see. And then the following Monday in chemistry, I was like, hey, tall guy, like, did I see you at that concert? He's like, you were at that concert? I'm like, oh yeah, my brother came and he took me and we were in the seats and blah, blah, blah. And I thought I saw you. He's like, yeah, I was there, man. It was fucking crazy. I'm like, yeah. And then like I was heavy metal buddies with this guy for the rest of my freshman year.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah, it is. It was interesting. I'm glad I went. You know, it wasn't a bad show.
Whenever you see a good show, you're gonna be glad you went.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite song?
Oh, hang on. Let me reopen it. All right. Favorite song, "Bitch" by Meredith Brooks.
Wow.
I've talked a lot about how much like it just takes swearing to get me to like a song.
Yeah.
And that one, you know, it obviously counted at the time. I don't know how much it'd count now.
I wonder how many melodies that we have in our heads. Like, how do we hold so many melodies?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird thing. I know you can't really think of a brain as like a finite room for a
Right.
thought. But like, if I can think of, are there literally 5,000 songs where I know the melody from?
Yeah.
Because that's strange.
And if you know, I'm sure some of the melodies are very similar, but the song "Bitch" by Meredith Brooks, I remember hearing it on the radio and immediately going to a record store
Yeah.
to buy the album, and I was like, I just heard this song. It said I'm a bitch a lot. And they didn't know what I was talking about.
Really?
And, like, I may have called the radio station to find out
Man, that's funny.
what the name of the song was. And it's you know, we've talked a lot. Like for me, kind of best song, it has to have that first listen influence on it.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I already know what my one for 98 is, but it I loved that song, and you know, Chuck and I listened to it last night because he made an 85 song playlist called 1997.
Yes, it did.
And that was on there, and I'm like, this has one of my favorite lyrics maybe ever, where she says, when you're hurt, when you suffer, I'm your angel undercover. And I just like it struck me then, and I loved it. And so that's my favorite song of the year. I also recently Cracked had like Cracked.com had like songs that people mistakenly think are by other people, and they, you know, apparently there's a giant subset of people that think Alanis Morissette sang that song because it's like an angry girl mid to late 90s
she
anthem.
sings with the same type of voice.
Yeah.
Was one of the things I was thinking of. I was like, oh, it's kind of similar to Sheryl Crow, but she has like a warble to her voice.
Yeah.
And kind of a and it's like, it does sound like Alanis Morissette now that I think about it. That's weird.
Yeah, but I've never made that mistake where I knew, I'm like, that's Meredith Brooks, and you know, I bought the CD, the whole CD.
From a money, and not from a rational standpoint, in my head and different times in my life, I'm like, Meredith Brooks was kind of a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette should have bought that song from her. She should have said, I'll give you $200,000 and Bitch Is Mine. And that should have been Alanis Morissette's song from now on.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yep.
Like, that would make sense to be like, oh, Alanis Morissette has that single now? Like, that makes 12 good singles. Like, I'll go see her. You know what I mean? Like, I think about stuff like that. I've thought about the idea of being like, man, I love this song from Sea Monkey Stew. I love this song that Monty's Fan Club used to play. I'm like, could we approach them as a band and be like, can we have those songs?
Right.
And have them be like Senior Discount Live songs only.
Right.
And I'm like that, to me, like, a lot of that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
If a band really, I don't know. Anyways, sorry, there's like a little side thing.
No, it's all right.
Favorite song, "Good Riddance, Time of Your Life" by Green Day.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's like, ooh man, that song was like probably with one of the like the top 10 best singles of the 90s. I'd say that song was awesome. And it wasn't as popular as it was super popular in the middle of 1998.
Right.
And by that time, Seinfeld was ending.
Yeah.
So in 1997, I don't think it was that popular.
Yeah, I don't know when that album came out in '97, but that
I
was
don't know
definitely an end of the school year song.
Yeah, that was my 8th grade like graduation song.
Right.
But in 1997 is when Nimrod came out, the album that's on, and Nimrod is an awesome album. It has Nice Guys Finish Last on it.
Which is a great video. That was
The football one.
They did it for the Varsity Blues soundtrack as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they did because it was re-released for that.
Yeah.
That's like that thing, along with My Hero, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
But anyways, Good Riddance / Prosthetic Head, which is Good Riddance is not the last song on Nimrod from Green Day.
Right.
It's the second to last, and there's a song that's right after it that I feel like goes with it perfectly. Do you know the song Prosthetic Head?
I listened to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Nimrod is an awesome album, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time. And Good Riddance was just such a crazy song where it was like,
And it was kind of a departure from what you'd expect from Green Day.
It was like, man, like Green Day is so good. They're such good songwriters. They came out with Dookie. They came out with Insomniac.
Right.
I think they might have even come out with a CD between Insomniac and Nimrod. Maybe not.
I don't know. Warning came out
Afterwards, yeah. So Nimrod, it's like, well, how long are they going to be able to be these like punk rock like guys that are just awesome?
Yeah.
And then Good Riddance comes out, and you're like, oh man, we're in for it.
Yep.
So that's to me, that's like the first like point in time where you're like, Green Day is going to be a big deal.
Right.
And first of all, to think that they're a big deal 15 years later, one of the biggest deals, is retarded.
Yes.
But Good Riddance is like an undyingly amazing song.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I don't know, that song is going to be respected throughout the
like hearing like the false starts of the song and
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. The violin in it, even the video is awesome.
Yep.
So that was my favorite song of 1997. And I will say that when we do these best of lists, I like to kind of like give everyone their due. So instead of like putting Green Day in other spots in here, because I have it as best song, I'm probably not going to focus on it as much for everything else.
Right.
I just think it's easier to do it that way. So, but that was my favorite song. All right, favorite single, Bradley Roar.
Well, I have favorite song to get me psyched up as next.
I didn't do. See, I didn't.
All right,
go ahead.
On that X Games Volume 2, there's a band named Fat and a song called Dog. And I wore that track out on my CD and then bought the Fat CD based on how much I liked that song and listened to that CD a lot just because I liked the one song and was really like behind them in as much as like I didn't really know how to support a band back then.
Yeah.
And so I bought that CD and I listened to it a lot, and it always like it's a high energy song and always got me pumped up.
Yeah.
Like, and to the point where I'm like, last night I'm like, Chuck, you have to listen to these songs. They get me so psyched up. I was ready for bed. I have favorite music I should have discovered long ago.
I have favorite single before that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, what's
Actually,
your
you know what? I do have. I think you might have erased favorite single because it's right after favorite
I
song.
might have.
Okay, favorite single. Here's my should have beens.
Okay.
Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
It's a great song.
Because it's a well-written song. It's definitely a pop song, but it's also awesome.
Yes.
Also should have been, honorable mentions for this.
Okay.
Favorite single, Fly by Sugar Ray. That song is awesome.
I was so against that song because in my mind, Sugar Ray was a punk band and that song was them selling out.
Really?
That's how I
See,
believed
I never
it.
knew that band before then. They were a punk band.
I saw them in 95 at my first concert at the X Fest, and that's how I associate. Like I had their autographs from that concert.
Right.
And so I was like, punk band, and then they came out with that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how dare these guys sell out? In the way that 19-year-olds
Yeah, I
feel.
hear ya.
So
Right. In that song, there's like that weird like Jamaican guy or whatever it is.
Big Cat. I
Spread
think
your
it's
love on
something
Super
cat.
Cat.
Super Cat. Yeah.
It's like spread your love on Fly.
Yeah.
And he does that, and then he says a second line,
Yeah.
and he says spread your love on Fly again. And I always tried to convince people that this is seriously what I told people. I don't know. Sometimes I used to lie, but this is like the type of lie I would tell. That before they recorded the song, that the lead singer of Sugar Ray borrowed a French fry. He had a French fry from
Yes.
and so Supercat worked in, you owe me a fry.
That's funny.
And so he said, spread your love on Fly. You owe me a fry, spread your love on Fly. And it's like, now when I hear it, that's what it is.
Oh, of course.
Other honorable mention. I love that song, by the way.
Yeah.
Love Fool by the Cardigans.
Excellent.
Amazing single.
Yeah.
I can't express enough how much I love that song. What one? What do you think?
Song 2 by Blur.
Bop by Hanson.
Oh.
I loved Bop so much. I wrote my mom the other day and I said, Mom, we're doing a podcast about 1997. Can you give me any memories from 1997? And she said, I just remember you and Nick and Bowman always singing Bop in the car together all the time. My buddies Nick and Bowman. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, Bop was like, it's just, I kind of was like, man, is this my favorite song of the year, blah, blah, favorite single? And it was like, yeah, it totally was, because I listened to that all I had was the single version.
Right.
And they had a 10-minute version of it on the single.
Wow.
Yeah, and I listened to them on repeat, the whole album on repeat, nonstop. Bop, dude. Like crazy. Like probably the song in my life that I've listened to on repeat the most.
That was another song that I couldn't like because I was a 19-year-old boy or 18-year-old boy.
And you didn't know whether or not you wanted to bang Taylor Hanson?
Couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I know I do, but I know I shouldn't.
Yes.
I like that you're being so blunt about this thing.
It's how I feel. Honesty is important.
Okay. All right. So, I do have favorite song to get me psyched up. You ready?
What was that?
Runner Up.
Okay.
The Train by the Quad City DJs. It's the Quad City DJs, and we call this the Train. So if you want to, you know the song.
Yes.
All right. Winner. Amazing song. Often forgotten. Never talked about.
Ready to Go by Republica.
No.
I have no idea if that came out in 97.
Wyclef Jean, We Trying to Stay Alive.
Which
is a sample of Staying Alive.
Okay.
We got the hook up while you look up. Who's calling Buff?
I don't really remember.
Johnny's killing. No beat.
I don't really remember.
It's so good. And Busta Rhymes is in either I think it's Dangerous. He says, "We got the Wyclef N-word. Should be hot to death, staying alive. Only the strongest survive." That's the reference to that song.
Oh wow.
But the Wyclef, it was a sample, obviously, from Staying Alive.
Right.
And it's seriously like I love his verses in that. I think they murder it. Like, Wyclef has come out with some laughable pop shit. Like, You Smell What the Rock is Cooking.
Yeah. That
song.
Yes.
Let me show you how the old dances go. But We Trying to Stay Alive was awesome. You know what? Maybe today we'll look up the video or whatever, and I'll show you. It's awesome.
Interesting.
Okay. So, do you have favorite music I should have discovered long ago?
I do. I don't know about long ago.
Right.
I was pretty anti Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
After her first album, her huge success, Tuesday Night Music Club, that came out when I was in high school.
Yep.
And I thought All I Want to Do was like just a dumb song where she just talked.
Oh,
and
really?
later learned that like her manager's like, hey, write the song. And she flipped through a book of poetry and like it's someone else's poem. And, she gave him credit and he gets royalties from it and everything.
Really?
Yeah. It's like some school teacher from...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah. And so I was so against Sheryl Crow, and then she came out with If It Makes You Happy.
Yeah.
And Every Day is a Winding Road. And
awesome.
I got that CD, and we'll talk about it more later in the video game section. How much I love that CD and why I love that CD. But I really got into Sheryl Crow that year. And then like the Sheryl Crow self-titled album got me into Tuesday Night Music Club, and I'm like, oh man, Strong Enough is so good. Like I love Strong Enough that's probably my favorite Sheryl Crow song, but I wouldn't have gotten there if it hadn't been for If It Makes You Happy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, my favorite music I should have discovered long ago. These were two albums that I got into in 1997 that came both out in 1995.
Right.
And it was the 311 self-titled album.
Good.
Which was awesome. It had Down, which is a single that now I think about Down. Down is probably my least favorite song that I like off that album.
Okay.
I love Random.
Yep.
I love All Mixed Up.
As you should.
Don't Let Me Down.
Yep.
Don't Stay Home.
Yep.
Which is like my favorite. Don't
stay
It has
home.
the big drum solo in it.
Don't stay home. Yeah.
Oh my god. And then Sweet on that song. That
Yeah.
CD is awesome. I love the 311 songs. My friend Justin got me into them at that point in time. And then Sublime's self-titled album, which came out in 95, and Bradley Noel died in 1997.
Yeah.
They had Wrong Way, Doing Time, April 29th, 1992, Santeria, Caress Me Down, Same in the End, What I Got.
Yep.
Awesome CD.
That's I'm not saying it's one of my Desert Island CDs, but it's certainly in the mix.
Yeah, seriously, like and like looking back on it, I'm like, man, there are not that many CDs by bands that there's this much of the CD I think is amazing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And those two like CDs I got super into. I remember that year for my birthday, I think, or Christmas. I don't know what the deal was, but there were 3 CDs that I wanted that it must have been Christmas 1996 that I got the CDs, but it was Sublime, 311, and Dave Matthews Band, Crash. Those were like CDs that like, you know, now our choices are so high that you have, you know, you listen to this song and this song, you jump around.
Right.
But back then when you had 3 CDs, you fucking learned the hell out of those CDs.
Yes, you did.
All right. Favorite song I rediscovered.
I put "Song for the Dumped" by Ben Folds 5, but that's more like me rediscovering it now and
think
how much
that's what
I
I put
loved.
too.
Yeah, and how much I loved it back then. Like,
That's-
oh man,
That's how I took this category as well in the 1997 Brammies and Chammys. It's the favorite song from 1997 that I'm now rediscovering.
yeah,
How Bizarre by OMC. Which me and Brad listened to last night. And I told him that when I was a child, I always thought that the chorus words were Cal Pizan.
yep.
Cal Pizan.
Cal Pizan. Yeah.
And I'm like, what is Calp? No, it's not a word. Cal Pizan? I don't. And I tried to figure it out.
Isn't the name of the song "How Bizarre"?
Yeah, but
And you couldn't.
I listened to the radio back then. Though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that song is like an awesome pop song, no matter what. Like, even if it's an ironically awesome song, it's still an awesome song.
Okay.
That still fucking counts, man.
That like honestly, any of these songs, like if your band covered now,
Yeah.
people would go crazy.
I think so. It's hard to tell, but I think that that's true. I think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the idea of doing a 1997 medley because of this. It's just like there's so many cool songs that are just like so this was then. Like there are some songs that like they hold up whenever. I think that a lot of the Everclear stuff is like pop singles that could come out whenever.
Yeah.
But a song like How Bizarre, that was a 1997 song.
Right.
All right. Favorite CD of the year.
We've talked about it. Everclear's "So Much for the Afterglow."
Yep.
One of the first CDs that I tried to go to a midnight release for. There was no midnight release that night. Definitely the first song I ever requested from a radio station. I told Chuck briefly yesterday. I went with the guys on my floor when I was in the ARA. Down the street at the Crazy Burrito, the alternative station 99X was broadcasting from there, and we went down there to see if we could get on the radio somehow. And really, it's just the guy calling in like, "Hey, I'm here at Crazy Burrito with a bunch of guys, and we're having a lot of fun and eating some burritos, and so back to you in the studio." It wasn't like,
Right.
"What song do you want to hear?" I got a Mighty Mighty Boss Tones tape that day. I had the choice.
Impression I get.
I had the choice between that one on tape and the Blur album on CD, and I picked the Boss Tones.
Nice.
And I didn't tell you this last night. I definitely made a comment about the DJ that was like hugely insulting, but I didn't intend for it to be
What was it?
where it was like he was very like pale and pasty and skinny and had like stringy awful hair. Like he was not an attractive man. And I said something about like we were talking about radio voices matching up, and I said like, yeah, you could be like, "Oh, that DJ looks like he has AIDS or something." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, does he think did I mean that about him?" And like
Like Handsome Dan in Wayne's World?
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Handsome Dan. Yeah, it was very similar to that. And then that night, I said,
Asshole.
yeah, I sure am. I said we're having an ice cream social with the Kaios, the girls across the hall tonight. Can you please play that Everclear song between 8 and 9 o'clock? And he's like, "Sure thing, buddy." And he played it at like 8:56.
So
But
he must not have had hard feelings.
no, and then I called in to thank him, and I was like,
Said about his AIDS.
yes. And so it was like that album. I still love it. I really do. It's the one that I've listened to from 97 that I've listened to the most since, and I still like the most.
I hear you.
And that's a great thing to do with these flashback categories, because it's like I can look back and say that definitively was my favorite album then, and it's still one of my favorites. It's really stood the test of time for me.
Right, definitely.
All the songs like Amphetamine, and they have a Christmas song that's like the secret song after the last song, and I love that song.
Yeah.
So much for the Afterglow by Everclear. I loved their previous album, Sparkle and Fade. More on that in a bit. And the song Santa Monica in specific, but
Yep.
that whole So Much for the Afterglow album, that was definitely leaps and bounds my album of 1997.
All right. I got no leaps and no bounds.
Sorry.
I got 2 runners up,
Okay.
and then I was, and I should have been.
Okay.
Okay. Second runner up. Aerosmith's 9 Lives.
All right.
Album was awesome. Had Falling in Love is Harder Than Knees. I love that. I love the trumpet line in it, as I showed you last night.
Yes.
Hole in My Soul. Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Oh man.
Pink.
Yep.
That's a good song.
I
And then
remember
Full
the-
Circle, which a
yeah.
lot of people don't know.
I don't know that one.
That one, you know the song in Happy Gilmore that plays Train Roll On?
Yeah.
It's the same like main, like I guess melody from that.
Okay.
And it's like Aerosmith's own kind of take on it, I guess.
Okay.
It's weird because it's not credited or anything. It just sounds just like it, but it's a
Right.
good song.
Okay.
All right, that was my second runner-up. First runner-up, Boss Tone's Impression That I Get.
All right.
And here's why. Because obviously, Knock on Wood is awesome.
Knock on wood.
But I didn't really get into that CD until a couple years later.
Yeah.
I listened to that single at that time.
Yeah.
But like Rascal King, that whole CD is excellent.
Yeah.
I didn't get into it later, so I can't count it as my CD of the year. All right, here's what it should have been.
Okay.
It should have been the Foo Fighters' "Color and the Shape," which has some of the best singles.
Yep.
The current like non-classic singles of all time.
Right.
Monkey Wrench.
Yep.
Amazing song. My Hero.
Yep.
That song is like, oh my god. Everlong. Like
Yep.
that's crazy. The fact that those 3 songs are on one CD is crazy.
Yep.
That should have been when I got into the Foo Fighters, and it should have been my favorite song CD of the year because it stood the test of time and it was well written music.
Yep.
What was it? Prodigy. As you said before. They had Breathe, Smash My Bitch Up, and Firestarter.
Yep.
Awesome.
I
songs.
was never into Prodigy. It was always a little too industrial, a little too mechanical for me, I guess, which is a weird thing to say.
You
but
like the Charlie's Angels movies though, and I feel like there's a huge
I don't
Prodigy
know
part.
that they really held up in my
I know,
liking
but
them.
still. I loved them. I loved those songs so much, and I still think of them as like some of the best stuff for like scenes in movies where there's a fight or.
Right.
I mean, we used them in one of the videos recently, right?
Yeah.
Past couple of years, we used Breathe, I think. Break the Pressure. Yeah. So that was my favorite CD of the year, Prodigy.
Nice.
It's Fat of the Land is the name of the CD.
Okay.
All right, so all I have left is Band of the Year.
Band of the year for me stays as Everclear.
Okay,
Yeah.
same thing. I got my runner-up,
Oh, good.
Dave Matthews Band with Crash. That CD was awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs I still like off that CD. It's very good.
I was told it was a good makeout CD by my friend Angie.
That's when you should have made out with her.
She had a boyfriend. She's not married to that boyfriend.
Nope, she wanted to make out with you. And no, what do you mean nope?
I assure you she did not.
Winner, Artist of the Year,
Okay.
Puff Daddy,
Wow.
hands down.
The song Victory.
No,
Really?
Hypnotize,
Okay.
Victory,
Yep.
Mo Money, Mo Problems,
Wow.
I'll Be Missing You,
Oh, man.
and Mace's Feel So Good, which he was on,
Right.
and Mariah Carey's Honey, which he produced.
Wow.
All in 1997. How is that possible? That's off, 4 different CDs?
That's a big year for
Right?
Puff Daddy.
I know.
And that was before the nonsense of like P. Diddy and then Diddy and
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he says in one of the songs, P. Diddy and the Fam, who you know do it better.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think he always had that
says,
going
yeah.
on. But that's the year that Biggie died.
Yeah.
So, Hypnotize came out, and what was on there? Mo Money, Mo Problems was out, but that wasn't a single right away. I
Right.
feel like, I think I'll Be Missing You came out as a single before Mo Money, Mo Problems.
Okay.
But Puff Daddy was everywhere. Like
Yeah.
those 6 songs were huge. And there was also It's All About the Benjamins that year, which
Yeah.
I didn't like that much. I like the rock remix, which
Right.
came out later, but still that was a huge song. There was even another single off the Puff Daddy album that I didn't like that much that everyone else did like.
Wow.
Nobody Gonna Hold Me Down.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was all in one year. How is that possible?
I have no idea.
Even trying to divide 8 singles up over the course of a
Yeah.
year is weird. All right, every month and
Every 6 weeks. Yeah.
yeah. So Puff Daddy was all over the place. I don't want to. I can't say that Puff Daddy was a huge influence on me musically,
Right.
But in terms of pop music,
In terms of the way you dress,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'd say.
yeah, the way I dress and my beliefs about I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not gonna go into it. But Puff Daddy was huge, and the pop music was just nonstop and awesome. And I like Mo Money, Mo Problems is gonna bring me happy memories till the day I die. I loved all these songs. Victory is just awesome. Hypnotize is awesome. Puff Daddy was clearly my artist of the year.
Sweet.
Here are my honorable mentions, and
Good.
Brad has mentioned some of them just for the whole category. Bitch by Meredith Brooks.
Good.
No Diggity by Blackstreet.
Oh, yeah.
The Dip by Freak Nasty.
Uh-huh.
That was my 7th grade
Put
dance
your
song.
hand up on my hip.
Oh my god, yeah. Every Day is a Winding Road. The Macarena. That was fun.
Yep.
I don't care. I know it. I hate it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Barbie Girl came out that year.
By Aqua.
That was a fun song, pop song. Let Me Clear My Throat, which I didn't get into a couple years later. That's a good song. Men in Black, the single, came out that year.
Yep.
Hell by the Squirrel Nut Zippers came out that year.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
Machine Head by Bush came out that year, and that's an awesome song. And as me and Brad sang in unison last night, the song I Want You by
The Chicky Cherry Cola song.
the Chicky Cherry Cola. I don't even know what band it is now that I think about it.
Oh, I
I don't need
forget.
to close my eyes. I don't even know how it goes. I can't
Take it
think
to
of
a
the
different
music.
place. There's a base in my spine like a cherry cola.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of that band though. That's
When
all right.
you today you know on your 85 song playlist, the song "I Love You" by a female artist. I love you always, forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I associate this song with my friend Chad because
I love him always forever.
right that part too. But it was he and his ex-girlfriend somehow associated with the two of them, and so I associated with him. Like he liked that song and I made fun of him for it, or some stupid thing like that.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay. We finished our music categories.
Yes.
And we have some personal stuff to bring in.
Yes. Well, we were going to talk about books as we normally do on the Brammies and Chammies.
And we will.
All right. Okay.
We'll talk about whatever we
All
need
right.
to. It's gonna be
Well,
kind
I
of
just figured because there was only one
Not too
book,
many books,
we
I know.
just get this out and then talk about the stuff that we wrote.
Good. Okay.
So the one book I am absolutely sure I read in 1997 was Stone Tables by Orson Scott Card, where it was like the story of Moses,
Okay.
and written as fiction, because you don't know what happened. But I was like, I was so into Orson Scott Card, and I was reading everything he wrote, and that came out, and I bought the hardback right away, or hardcover right away, and read that, and I'm sure that I read a lot of other books that I really enjoyed, but that's the only one that I'm like, I definitely read that in 97. I remember reading it, and I'm sure there were other books that came out that year that I didn't read until later, with Stephen King or something, but
Right.
default, all categories, book of the year.
Nice. I can't remember the books I read in 1997.
no.
It had to be all books. When I was 12,
Yeah.
it's just difficult.
Yeah,
Okay, so here's what I have to bring to the table.
Good.
I want to bring up some personal stuff.
good.
All right. I have 5 marble notebooks here.
I can vouch that he does in fact have 5 marble notebooks.
Me and Patrick carpooled together for a lot of my time at St. Phil's, or some of it. And one of the things we did was on the way to school, we would draw a story about a character that we created called Mr. Mouse.
All right.
And these 5 notebooks contain the complete adventures of Mr. Mouse.
Wow.
Yeah. I just opened it up to show Brad first time.
Yep.
First issue of Old Mr. Mouse and his adopted kid, Tommy the Messed Up Squirrel. And basically what it was
That's really good.
You think so?
For 12 and 13, yeah.
He basically, Mr. Mouse was a guy, and he had his dad, who was kind of an older version of him. Mr. Mouse is white, the dad was brown, and he had a kid, he was a squirrel. And it was really just, honestly, nonstop Mr. Mouse. Like, right, page 1,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm going to go hang up the laundry. He goes up the stairs to go hang up the laundry. His ear gets caught in the elevator and comes off of his body.
Oh boy.
He has
Go
to
back
and
down,
get him.
got him.
Yep. Then he goes outside. He trips over something on the roof. He falls off the roof.
Okay.
He falls into a clothing line, and
Gets
spins.
twisted up.
Yeah, he gets in the clothes. So basically, all it was
Wait a minute.
him-
Why is there a hot girl mouse?
You'll see.
Okay.
So it's always him just getting hurt, and
Right.
basically his son is stupid. His dad hates him, and I think in issue 1, let's kind of fast forward. Yeah, he's hurt. He's hurt. Okay, he meets a hot mouse. It looks like, or a squirrel. I don't know what her name is. Now her phone number. Don't read the number. That's Patrick's house number to this day. It's still his phone number.
Let's call it.
Yeah, she says, "Here's my personal number," and his Mr. Mouse has hearts for pupils and
Yeah.
stuff. He hits his son with a sledgehammer.
And the son says, "Ow."
Yep, and the son.
Oh, then he has to drive his son to the doctor, and he still has hearts for eyes.
Yeah, the girl is a doctor.
Oh,
He
okay.
drives her. I think he drives her to see the girl.
Still driving.
Yep. Okay, so now.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is that a snapping turtle?
Well, hold on. So basically, all it is violent stuff, and he falls in love with this girl.
Yeah.
This seems to be a big cat because
Yep.
he's a mouse. Cat
Oh, that makes sense.
tries to get him.
I'm a spirit.
Yeah, the cat swipes at him and he has a heart attack. He's a spirit. He gets stuck in some gum. It was all basically
It's all like cartoony
yeah,
animal
it's,
drawings.
It's violence basically. He likes girls. Honestly, I don't know. Look, he's listening to the Macarena in this one. All right. Yeah, we tried to come up with all the lyrics. Oh man. All right. But basically, it was a violent story about a mouse cartoon guy who just gets hurt all the time. And that was kind of it.
Like, I still don't draw that well.
Yeah, that's true. And me and Patrick kind of went back and forth.
Yeah.
Writing the story. Like, here's a picture of Patrick of him and his family that
Oh,
he drew, or that I drew. And
somebody
he's
riding a
showing my
kangaroo.
family. Yeah. And so that's issue 1.
It's cute.
And I'm not going to go through the issues. I just want
I
to
know.
look
I
at
want to look at this picture of your family. That's Sam chasing a snail.
Yeah. This
Is it you holding a fish tank?
Yeah, we had our pets in the pictures.
That's a great representation of your father.
It's pretty good, right? But basically, you know, Mr. Mouse issue 2 I have here. He has a neighbor that he has a fight with. He doesn't like her. But it was basically just violent stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing is, me and Patrick didn't really come up with stories. We would just be like, all right, I'll draw this page, you draw this page, blah, blah, blah. And we kept doing that. And so we'd be like, all right, in issue 2, he has a girl that he hates. So we'd have this, 150 pages of him and this girl kind of battling. And there was no story. There was no end point or resolution.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe we did have a resolution usually. This one is continued next issue.
Oh, man.
But-
It's odd with you drawing it. I'm surprised at how little sex there is in it.
Well, I was only 12 and we were drawing it from my parents.
I know, but still.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Mouse goes to the center of the earth in issue 3.
That doesn't make any sense. How would he survive down there?
I don't know. We become friends with people.
Oh, I'm sorry. In this one, it's Mr. Mouse is hurt and he's imagining himself as a strong guy in torn shorts with 2 hot lady mice. Like he's holding them up on his biceps, and they say, "Of course we'll marry you."
Mr. Mouse issue 4. He has a family of aliens move in next door. But this is what we did at 12 years old.
This is really, really funny.
Yeah, and it goes into a place where it's like I guess he's always trying to get laid too, because in everyone there's all these different girls that he's meeting.
He never really closed the deal with any of them.
Well, I never really paid attention to what the storyline was. I haven't looked at these for years. And years.
I'm sorry. On this one, you have a punch, and the brass knuckles are helpfully labeled brass knuckles.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
But that was my ride to and from school, and probably where a lot of my right now we do the cards and stuff for each other, and they have real storylines, and we basically every birthday not every birthday, once in a while for birthdays or Christmas, we'll draw cards for each other. Me, Sousa, Patrick, Brad.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of is where that kind of stuff started from, where I talk about the cards as being our place to break rules in terms of comedy and story, because we do so much stuff that has to be good,
right?
Like our videos and everything. And this was probably back then my little personal, with me and Patrick, our little personal break the rules and draw bullshit and violence. And where to end? Let's see where it ended. This is the final page on
to be continued
5.
in 15 years. What the?
I don't even know what's going on. This is his nemesis, Mrs. Weasel. But yeah, so me and Patrick would do this. Oh, look there's a gravestone that says Disney on Ice, and it's frozen Walt Disney. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
that's good for 12-year-old Chuck and 11-year-old Patrick. That's a good joke. So. But yeah, so
funny stuff.
Back then is when I started my bullshit journey.
That's nice.
It is. Isn't it heartwarming? I wish Patrick was here to experience this stuff with me, but he's not.
I talked about stuff I had written. And I told Chuck, I'm like, I hate myself so much. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I was so pretentious.
Yes.
Among other things, I had, I mentioned the Everclear album Sparkle and Fade, and in the song Summerland, the refrain is kind of fall, glimmer, sparkle, and fade, and they repeat it over and over. And so I wrote 4 very short stories, like page and a half short stories, like 500 words, entitled Fall, Glimmer, Sparkle, and Fade. And like fall was about like an abrupt breaking up of a relationship. Glimmer was about like the possibility of a new relationship. Sparkle was about like, the heart of a relationship, and fade was like a relationship dissolving, like slowly breaking up.
That's good.
Over the course of a page and a half. And they're great ideas, just executed poorly. And I believe I submitted them on writersbbs.com, where it was kind of like an online writers thing.
In 1997?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And people would read it, and one of them...
I definitely didn't really deal with computers back then.
I got positive feedback on the first 2, and then I think on Fall, on the fight one, they're like, oh, we could totally see it coming, and I never submitted anything to them again, because I was like, how dare you? No, not that I was like that. I was like, well, those are the only
that
4...
Didn't make me feel good.
Yeah, really, and I didn't really know how to take criticism, and didn't really understand why I was doing it. So that was kind of the beginning half of the year. Now, I had a crush on a girl.
No.
Yep, and didn't really know how to talk to her. I knew her roommate sort of, and so I ended up like telling her roommate like, yeah, I've got a big crush on your roommate, on Brenda, and she thought it was cute because they were sophomores and I was a freshman, and so I wrote 2 different stories for Brenda, and I'd like to read selections from one of them if I could.
Yes.
All right, so I used code words, code names to not give it away when I was writing it, and that's the copy I still have.
Yep.
So anytime it's Brittany, that refers to the girl.
Okay.
So I'm going to just read selections from this.
Okay.
This is how it opens. Brittany sighed wistfully as she stared out at the gently falling snow. White fluorescent light from the lamps atop their posts gave a weird, unearthly glow to the courtyard between her dorm and the next. A few lights were on across the way, mainly on the second floor. Everyone else was probably out partying somewhere. But Brittany wasn't in the mood for partying, not tonight. She wiped a tear or 2 away, crumpled her Kleenex into a little pseudo-rose, and tossed it in the general direction of the garbage can. She missed. Oh well. And that's,
That's already funny, right?
yeah, I know. We learned that she had a boyfriend, and she caught him cheating.
Okay.
And they broke up. And
In real life?
no,
Okay.
I wish. Continuing, Brittany turned and ran from the room, not noticing, not caring where she was going. Tears flowed like waterfalls, rushing to dump the poison she felt in her heart. She stumbled blindly along the semi-slippery sidewalk until she crashed into someone in a big, warm, Slingster-cool light brown coat. She had tried to apologize, but the words came out garbled and mixed up, like the shattered, innumerable pieces of her broken heart. He reached around and hugged her in some feeble attempt to console her. That's me.
I know.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I think Slingster Cool came from the Wheatsy Bat books that Francesca Leah Block had written.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that word.
Yeah. I just remembered it now.
What is this printed on?
Recycled paper, recycled gray paper.
Okay.
So basically, he, like the unnamed me, and her, like we get hot chocolates. She asked why I'm being so nice to her, and I say because you're a beautiful person and it hurts to see you in pain.
That's good.
Then we go for a walk. Now that's the first page of this story.
Okay, that's not bad.
Oh, it gets bad. Because, as you know, I have a problem with drama. So we're laughing.
I plugged my ears.
A snowball fight, blah, blah, blah. She asks if I really think she's beautiful. And then another voice. Yes. What? Who's there? It is I, Equite, master of the Baitian galaxy.
What?
I have come to take Brittany back to the breeding grounds on my home planet of Tooten. You can't do that, Brad screamed. I was going to try and go the whole story without actually naming this character and just dropping subtle hints, but hey, I was also going to make this a serious romantic story, and, as you can see, any premise of that is gone. Watch me, Equite said, still in human form. He whipped out a death-o ray gun and took aim at Brad. Hooah! Came a heave from the second floor. The vomit splattered all over Equite and caused him to drop and break the death-o ray gun. Hooray for all the alcoholics on the second floor, Brad called.
That's funny.
That's, Brad grabbed her by the hand and took off like a bat out of gas, slowly and with considerable effort, tugging the still in shock Brittany over. I think bat out of gas is very funny. The idea of trying to go fast and you can't.
It is funny.
He had a slow moto stare. Somebody threw a snowball at him. This part 3, a dramatic plot twist. Brittany collapsed melodramatically on the front steps of the Beta Alpha Rho sorority house. Brad rested his hands on his knees and gasped for breath. Why is he after me? Maybe he wants all the young earthlings to be beautiful. You're so crazy. Why can't I find a guy like you? Brad was silent for once. Slowly, a light of realization spread across Brittany's face. I can't get a guy like you because you're gay. No! Oh, sorry. So we're going to hide, blah, 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 fight Equite. And I ask her, why can't you be the hero? And she says, because the hero always gets the girl, and kisses me on the cheek. This is my idea of a joke. Brad searched for a weapon to no avail. He tried to stall. You're going to strike down an unarmed man? Quit trying to stall. Wait. Take off that human mask. Gladly, your pitiful human forms suck. Equite pulled off the mask. It was hideous. So when are you going to take off the mask? Like that doesn't make any sense. That if it had been ugly mask, that would have worked.
Yeah.
It raised the gun. It took aim. Its tentacle pulsed. Its pores oozed ooze. Suddenly, various articles of women's underclothes flew out of the Chi Omega house. Most of them landed on Equite. A few hit the ground, but some Teps came by and snatched them up. Equite let out an obviously unearthly shriek. Brad dashed over to Equite and kicked him really hard or something. Then Brad picked up the hero destroyer, flipped a switch, and voila, a villain destroyer. Brad fired. Equite died, blah, blah, blah. Wyckoff, do I get the girl? Oh, that. No. What do you mean no? You said the hero always gets the girl. Brad, I'm going to be honest here. I was lying. But the hero getting the girl is a long-standing literary tradition. So, as an author, you're an innovator who doesn't hesitate to defy literary tradition in order to shock your reader by giving them something fresh? With that, she sashayed away into the moonlight, leaving Brad alone with a smoldering pile of goo and a broken heart. Which is sad. Epilogue. Brittany got back together with her cheating boyfriend, basketball was still fun, and a bunch of girls really liked Brad's story and kept trying to score with him.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. And this is for the girl that you liked?
Yeah, this is for the girl I liked that she didn't like me.
Yeah.
Not even in my own story.
I was going to say.
It's so bad, and there's like, it's so bad.
It's strange. It's strange that you wrote it for her. Like, I don't know. I guess I never take that.
Yeah, and it was dumb.
I've done worse stuff than that in terms of like ideas of like this will impress this girl, but probably at a younger age.
Yeah. I also had, and I'm not gonna read them. This half-page single-spaced was for a different girl. It's called A Modern Day Romance, and it's stuff like, "You are the most wonderful companion I could ever ask for. I cherish every moment we are together." Stuff like that.
Nice.
She's married now to somebody who's not me.
Send it to her.
She read it. I definitely showed it to her.
Okay. What'd you say?
Thanks. I don't know. And then three emails, a story of like written over 3 nights, and it's certainly not completed. But it's another one where it's Brad and this girl named Sarah, who it wasn't the girl I was pursuing. It's Sarah, Sera, because it's like seraphim, like the angel. And I honestly didn't read through it all, but it's not good. There's a story here about like taking a train to see the movies with a girl named Grace, and like they pick on her, and I fight them and finish it. One pulls a gun, and the only thought on my mind is to protect Grace, etc.
Of course.
And one of the guys commits suicide in the story, and so here we go. The last 2 paragraphs of this. The train still stank. Everyone avoided looking at the blood in the young man's body. The businessman carried the unconscious man out at the next stop. Police were gathered and busy leading people out of the car. Guy, the hero, me,
of course,
and the jacket were taken to the hospital, the girls home, and the Mexican woman and the businessman had to stay and answer questions. I almost felt sorry for them. I felt Grace's tug and stood up. Then, carefully, I led her off the train and off the platform. All the policemen were nice to Grace. Well, it seems they're always nice to blind people. And that was like the big twist, was that she was blind the whole time. And that's kind of what I mean about being pretentious.
You going to the movies with her?
Yeah, I guess.
That's kind of weird.
Well, that's why the plot twist is there. I don't know.
like
it made sense.
Yeah.
All right. two more things. One, my ARA evaluation after 1 semester, that it's very positive, except like I'd confronted people in a very angry way where I was like, shut the fuck up.
Really?
Yeah. And so that was kind of my thing to work on, was my temper.
That's bizarre.
But yeah,
I can't think of you screaming shut the fuck up.
Oh man. I was 18, 19,
yeah.
26, whatever. But every
as old as you?
Yeah. 33.
But
it was all positive stuff. So
good.
And then when I was leaving my freshman year, I wrote this to Chad and Megan. About we were talking about going home, and so this was the night before I left. As for going home, I was getting sick of the same surroundings, but I will miss walking out the door and having 40 friends right there. I will miss being able to curse and act stupid and have someone there to laugh with. I will miss being able to talk to someone about whatever problem I have within a relatively short time. I will miss making jokes and having people break out laughing, eventually stop, then remember what I said and start laughing again. I will miss flirting with waitresses while my friends crack up laughing. I will miss going 10 miles in 10 minutes on back roads just because I don't want to miss the start of the movie. I will miss people introducing me to their friends, who in time become my friends. I will miss being able to walk from room to room and see something different on TV, something different as their screensaver, some different colors when I check my email. I will miss having 20-some girls living on the floor below mine, each one of them more special than they can imagine. I will miss seeing a pretty girl in the cafeteria, then having someone else notice and tell me to go talk to her. I will miss waking to an alarm and spending hours in a class with people who think the same as I do, slowly in the mornings. I'll miss the water pressure in the showers. I'll miss the carvings on the stall walls in the bathroom. I will miss having to dial 9 for an off-campus call. I will miss checking my mail every day, knowing that whatever's in the box has a 1 in 2 chance of being for me. I will miss making fun of Baywatch, of turning off the sound during a Cubs game and doing the play-by-play. I will miss the never-ending battles of Mario Kart, the wrestling matches, the pillow fights, the practical jokes, Sublime blasting out my windows. I'll miss making drinking jokes to my friends who do drink and don't care that I don't. I'll miss the people most of all. And I was like, what a beautiful thing. And now I'm reading it and I'm like, well...
That's good.
Those are things that all happened. Like, it's weird. I at the time, Megan was like touched that I included something about the girls on the floor below mine. But I'm like, man, I wanted to bang like 9 of you.
Yeah.
Like, of course I'm going to write something about that.
Oh, yeah.
And P.S.
Megan, let me touch you more.
Banged 0 of them. Thank you very much. Perfect record.
Well, your $1,000 was on the line.
Yes, it was.
Does the podcast audience know about your $1,000?
I don't know. I don't know. One of the reasons in my grandpa's will, I'm sure we talked about this on a much earlier podcast.
That sounds so fucked up.
In my grandpa's will,
The idea of like starting the story with, I didn't have sex with any girls in college. Well, you wanted that $1,000. Yeah, let me tell you the story. In my grandfather's will.
yes,
It's
Well,
like
that's-
National Treasure 3.
that's how it was spelled out.
There's
It was
the
in my grandpa's will, Grandpa Bean Blossom, that if we didn't smoke, drink, do drugs, or have premarital sex before we were 21, then we'd get $1,000. And if
What about fingering?
we, you know what, that wasn't really spelled out, so I guess that was a loophole that I didn't take advantage of.
Yeah, loophole, all right.
That it was that if we didn't get the money, it would go to our fathers. And so I'm like, man, why wasn't Dad like offering me beer all the time?
Yeah.
And then, but Brent turned 21 that summer, like the summer of '97, and I guess my grandma called, talked to him, and said, "Should I write the check out for 1,000 or for 50?" And he said, 50.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was for 50 if you didn't.
Yeah.
If you did do it.
Yeah, because that was kind of our normal birthday gift
stuff,
at
yeah.
that time. So it was.
Man, he was honest about it?
Yeah, I have no idea if my cousin. I know my eldest cousin deserved it. He and I talked about it that summer, in fact, and
Jeez.
I don't think any of my other cousins deserved it. But I've never asked them if they took it
Yeah.
because I don't want to. Like, I don't want to hear that they lied to my grandmother. Yeah, and so. And then, you know, when my 21st birthday came, I made a huge deal of it. Like the month before, I'm like, start writing all those zeros, Grandma. It's going to take you a while. And then just in case I was missing the message, I was working on my birthday that year.
great.
I turned 21. I was working at Walgreens at the time. She came in with the check and it was tucked inside a Bible just in case I had missed the message. And so I got that $1,000 but I think in doing so, I really established myself as somebody who doesn't drink, who doesn't want to drink.
Yeah.
And so it kind of continued on my 21st birthday, and that led to a huge conflict. And then, you know, even now where I don't drink, and it's, you know, sometimes it's a big deal and sometimes it's not. And
Yeah.
it was definitely, it definitely had a huge part of my character development.
Yeah.
I also know my sister earned the money, or at least, you know, she still claims she earns the money. I'm sure she did. She wasn't cool enough to drink. I was barely cool enough to drink. I just didn't. And to my knowledge, like, neither of my parents have ever had alcohol. I haven't. Yeah.
Your dad had alcohol. He's got to. You
I don't know.
don't think he's ever had champagne, like on his wedding?
He said no.
Never.
I can just go by what he says.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Your dad doesn't know what alcohol tastes like.
And
He must have had wine at church. Guaranteed.
grape juice.
Never wine? Even like in like 1972,
I'm pretty sure it was always grape juice for them.
it was always wine for me since 12
Yeah.
years old.
Right.
Because I'm Catholic?
I probably. I do think that Catholics are secret alcoholics.
So blacks, Catholics. Who else are going to piss off on this episode?
What? How did I piss off blacks?
Because white Brad
Oh.
did the right thing and black Brad made a lot
That had
of
nothing.
bad choices.
That had nothing to do with his race.
It's the only difference between him
Yeah.
and white Brad.
Yeah, white Brad didn't make great choices.
Okay.
No,
I saw your drawing of Spanish Brad, and we're not going to...
he was eating a huge burrito. I don't know. That's because you've never met Black Brad. You wouldn't understand. So I as far as I know, my parents have never had alcohol. I've never had alcohol. My sister's never had alcohol. Brent has had enough for all of us.
That's really funny. I don't really drink. Ever.
Yeah, I know. And we talked about that when you talked about your Boston trip a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was kind of stuff I wrote and stuff that.
Man, that's funny.
Yeah, like the story of me and Sarah. I really want to go back and read it to be like, how, like, is this good? Is this bad? Are there good ideas here?
Yeah. I think that was good.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
That Britney one is really. I wrote another.
I thought.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought the last one was
Yeah.
good.
No,
I
I-
didn't really hear the Sarah one.
Yeah, I wrote another one for Brenda/Britney, where it was like Sir Brad and Maid Brenda.
Yeah.
And it was the land of Peoria lot, which I think is cute.
That's funny.
But that was probably the best joke in there.
Yeah.
Was Peoria lot. That was kind of, I had my tropes of like a knight in shining armor story, a Star Wars parody, excuse me, and then like Speed.
Yeah. The movie Speed.
The movie Speed. I'd write it. So it was my stories were never like really creative or well thought out or anything. I guess like the big twist of going to the movies with a blind girl is as big as it gets.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I wrote a lot of stories. I mean, we're gonna get to it in further
Yeah.
flashback episodes, I'm sure.
yeah.
But that was really funny.
Yeah, in terms of, we didn't have any actual books, so that's as literary as I got.
Yeah.
I wrote so much more in high school because I didn't have to pay attention in class
Yeah.
because it's high school, it's kind of easy.
Yeah.
And then I got to college and I did have to pay attention, and
Yeah.
it wasn't like I was sitting around bored at night because there were 40 guys around that if I was like, "Hey, let's see if you can walk from AJ's door to the drinking fountain in 4 steps." We'd do it for like 2 hours, like all taking turns and seeing who could come the closest. And
Really?
and then it was like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's fun. Yeah.
hey guys, how far do you think you can walk down the hall on your hands? And so we did that, and my friend Marty broke a bunch of blood vessels in his face.
Really?
Yeah, and so it looked like he had this poison ivy all over his face because he was like upside down for so long.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that might have been late '96.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so before we move on to TV, I have some stuff that I wanted to bring in, some personal
Excellent
stuff. All right, here's what we got.
It's a cassette tape of some sort.
All right.
You look really unsure about this.
This is
If this is
my-
going to be an audio tape of you self-pleasuring, I don't want to hear it.
This is
All right, I kind of want to hear it.
This is my first foray into writing music. And here's the deal.
Okay.
I realize now, and I'm going to get into this later in the podcast. You have
Right.
no idea where I'm going with this yet, but a lot of my friends in my life fulfill the same roles in terms of when I was 12, when I was 22, when I'm 27,
Right.
whatever.
I'm the handsome one that gets all the ladies.
Right. And this kid named Michael Kroger
Yep.
was a kid that I was friends with. And basically, the type of person that I know now that I most equate him with is Justin Ballagarin, who isn't really a close friend of mine.
Right.
He's never been on the podcast. He probably hasn't listened to the podcast. But he was a kid that I knew through John Cabral, who was a really close friend of mine. And a kid I knew through Tom Wells, obviously
Right.
old senior discount lead guitarist. And he's a good guy. And he kind of, we overlap a little bit with senses of humor.
Right.
And it's not so much, we're comfortable with each other. He's,
All right.
he's a nice guy. Anyways, the idea of Kroger, this is going to sound kind of mean, but it wasn't really mean spirited back then. There's a kid named Kroger, and sometimes I just think people are funny.
Okay.
Brad is one of those people. That's how we started being friends, because I
Right.
just think Brad is a strange, funny guy, and Kroger was like that.
I'm sorry. Could you go funny, strange instead of strange, funny?
Yeah.
No. That's the order I think of you in. Strange, funny.
And the idea back then was that I thought Kroger was such an ugly person. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Poor Kroger.
So I made a tape of parody songs, of like 12 parody songs, all about Kroger.
Wow.
And the part of what was funny is that I wasn't really friends with him.
Okay.
Some of, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is weird.
I like it. It's a funny concept, but at the
Yeah.
time, I don't know how you justify that.
Right. So it sucks because basically what I did was I took a cassette tape, a blank one,
Right.
and I took a picture of Kroger, I cut and pasted it on the front of the tape, and I wrote Kroger, the first tape. Assuming,
good.
Yeah. I didn't make any more, but.
Oh, okay.
And then I kind of laminated it with contact paper that you'd use to laminate a book. And I have the track listing in here, but the ink has run so clearly. But I'm gonna try to. Here's what they were, and I didn't bring this up yet.
Okay.
These were parodies of Weird Al songs.
Wow.
That were parodies of other songs.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me cut in there. I had a moment somewhere in my middle school years. I did not know the original Madonna song was called "Like a Virgin."
Yeah.
I knew "Like a Surgeon" by Weird Al, and
Yeah.
and in church somebody said something about like the Mary the Virgin. And I said, "Huh, like a virgin." And Erica Wainscott turned to me and she was like, what are you talking about? Like, why is that funny? I was like, oh, it's like the Weird Al song. I had no idea.
That's really bizarre.
Sorry. Go all right, double level parodies. Go ahead.
Yes. So basically,
If one of them is like a Kroger, I'm gonna freak out.
the all right, let me see. Basically, they were exact parodies. So the first song by Weird Al was Lola by the Kinks,
Okay.
and it was Yoda. Was that his
Right.
parody? And so I called it the song that started it all because I made a song called Kroger.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't have any of the lyrics anymore.
But I assume it was Kroger.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was all these songs about Mike Kroger. And honestly, I think I did a parody of the Animaniacs theme song,
Okay.
but I don't even know how it was called. I don't even think I changed the words that much.
Right.
I mean, I made the characters ugly, I guess. There's a song that Weird Al made called Young, Dumb, and Ugly, which is actually an original song.
Yeah.
So I made a song called Krog's Smart But Ugly. and it was all parody songs of Kroger. And like, obviously there's not much of a payoff because I'm not going to play the songs.
Right.
I don't really have a way to. And they were terrible.
Yeah, not on the podcast.
Right.
However, you could listen to this at home.
Yeah, I know. I don't really have a tape player though.
Yes,
I
you
looked for
do.
one.
It's on top of your refrigerator. The stereo that I gave you.
It's not up there anymore. It hasn't been for a long time.
I know.
But it is around. It is
Yes.
around in my house.
Yeah.
I probably could listen to it through that.
If you wanted to.
If I wanted to. Okay. Well, here's basically what I did was I came up with these songs. All my friends. I basically had a group of friends back then.
Okay.
Bowman, which is gonna get more of in a minute. Nick Appleman, Andrew Frankel, Ryan Taylor, some other guys, and Andrew Frankel, who actually lives right over here near me now,
Right.
near my parents' house. And he had a tape where you could play a tape, plug in a microphone, and sing over the tape and record it onto another
wow.
tape.
Yeah.
And that's how we made this tape at
Got
his
it.
house. Which why you could see the label is actually in his handwriting.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of the stuff is in my handwriting. All right. So that was that. That's not really worth playing because it's really just the same songs that Weird Al did, but
Right.
me singing them
Right.
and about a different person. Now this is where it's gonna get cringe-worthily embarrassing.
That's wonderful.
Oh boy. All right, let's see. I was seriously like, I don't know if I want to embarrass myself that much in the podcast. Then I was like, I feel like that's like against who I am.
Also,
to say that.
Also, I talked about killing a girl's cat.
Yeah.
So I did not actually kill the cat. Just for those of you who didn't hear that episode.
So basically, me and Bowman was probably my best friend back then. Tall guy, nice guy. Have you ever met him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We hung out with him a few times, and less since I went to high school. All my friends now, like Lou and Souza,
Right.
all those people know Bowman, and eventually less and less. Like Brad probably has met him like once or twice. But in 7th and 8th grade, we were best friends. He lived in Portsmouth. I'd stay over his house all the time.
Right.
We'd get chicken wings from North End Pizzeria,
Okay.
and go to Blockbuster and just hang out in his basement and watch movies. And we were like 12, 13, 14.
Right.
And I went on a trip with him. His family took me to Mexico.
Wow.
Right? Like, that's crazy.
Wish they had left you there.
Yes. Me and Bowman, to pass the time, we drew things. A big
Right.
joke was "Go fist yourself, Bowman," and like different like people telling him to go fist himself.
Right.
And one of them was a picture of God, and he had a robe that said God on it, and God had crossed out the D and made it "Go fist yourself, Bowman." It was God. It was so funny. And Bowman was kind of the butt of the jokes.
Right.
And I think it was because he was so tall. I don't know why, but that was like, it was funny that he was bigger than everybody.
Right.
Anyways. Oh man, this is embarrassing. We made a rap group called Bo and C.
All right, I will point out that I had a rap career called Easy B. So
So Bowman was Bo.
Right.
I was C.
Yeah.
There are 6 songs that I have the lyrics for. And I know it takes place over 97, 98. So I
Right.
saved 3. I brought 3 in. They're really short.
excellent.
And I'm going to go through all the lyrics. These are the actual pieces of notebook paper that we wrote them on.
Yes, they are
I still
smudged and
have.
everything. I wish I knew how to beatbox. I'd give you a beat, but I
Yeah.
don't.
I don't. If some of my handwriting might be difficult to read, so I
Right.
might stutter here and there. This first song is called NC and H, and it was when me and Bowman took a trip to North Conway, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
And it was. I mean, it's. You'd think about how great the trip was, I guess. And like
That's what I think.
you know how well, that's what I think it's about.
Yeah.
But you know how man, this is kind of embarrassing. You know how in the beginning of rap songs people talk a little bit.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we talked a little bit at the beginning. So I'll read you NCNH,
Do you,
North Conway, New
like?
Hampshire.
Do you have each person's part marked? Because if I can help by rapping Bowman's part, I would love to.
I'm kind of thinking of you doing it, but I feel like it might just get to the point where you just can't read it. Yeah, you know what? I think it's funnier having you do it, and you can just say, "Here's Chuck's part. Here's Bowman's part. Chuck, this
Okay.
Bowman." Brad's gonna kind of talk it like a poem almost.
Right.
But these were rap songs when we wrote them. So this is the first song, NCNH.
NCNH. Is this the 2 pages?
Yeah, 2
All right.
pages.
All right. Here we are.
This one's actually pretty easy to read.
NCNH. Chuck. This is a song about North Conway, New Hampshire. Bowman. And our stay in it. Chuck. Yeah, dude. Red jacket.
It was a hotel we stayed in.
Okay. Bowman. I was going to New Hampshire. I felt like a ballet dancer. I asked Mom, hey, you silly duck, I got an idea. Let's bring Chuck. Chuck. They called me up around 3 the next day. My brother hit me in the arm, so I said, hey. I ran to the phone to pick it up. Bowman asked if I would go. I said, yup.
Why don't you just talk it?
Okay.
This is a little bit less.
It's much funnier if I rap this.
No,
All
it's
right.
not.
Bo. 2 weeks later, I showed up at his door. We got in the van. The trip was a bore. We drew in the pad most of the time. We didn't eat lemons. We didn't eat limes.
See, we've reached a lot for.
Yes,
For rhyming
you
things.
sure did. We finally rolled up the huge driveway. We saw John Lovitz, so we said, hi, Jay.
Because we love the
Jay
critic.
Sherman, yeah. Chuck, we got to our room. It was sweet. We were tired, so we put up our feet. Bowman, it was cool. We knew we would like it. Chuck, if we saw a donut, you know we would bite it. That's just sound donut eating advice.
Yes.
Oh, and then I guess the chorus is NCNH, red jacket was great. NCNH, what a cool stay.
It was a cool stay, Brad.
I'm not doubting that it was a cool stay. There's also a drawing, 2 drawings here. Just of faces, and one has giant cartoon eyes, and the other has pretty sweet sunglasses that look to be on upside down.
Yeah, there's a lot of doodling.
Yeah. Chuck, we walked in the room. We're at the pool soon. It was cool. We ate some pickles. Then I found a big brown nickel.
I found a nickel in the pool. It had been there for a while.
Okay.
It was a big task to get that nickel.
I imagine so. Bowman, I remember that you were a fool. You'd never get it at the bottom of the pool. Chuck, that's the thing. But my tush I would send, it was really bad. It was in the deep end. So I dived and dived the whole dang day. After a while, I finally said, okay, this is it. I'll get it now. And I dove so deep down. I reached and reached, trying to grab it a few feet more, and I'd have it. When I came back up, I couldn't believe my eyes and opened my hand and revealed my prize. That's a great rhyme.
Thanks.
I went back to the side to show it to Bowman, and then he said, yeah, so, man. He picked it up and hucked it in and turned to me with a devilish grin. Bo. He was upset for like an hour. Chuck. Then I forgot about it and stopped being sour. NCNH, red jacket was great. NCNH, what a sweet stay. Chuck. Later that night, we went mini golfing. At Pirates Cove, there was a big dolphin. Well, that's a rhyme I didn't see coming. Good job.
Thanks.
Bo. Dude, that was a shark. What's wrong with you? I picked an orange ball. He picked blue. Chuck. Dude, please don't get into this. Bo. Guy, I made you eat my dust. Not the rhyme I expected. He did so bad, oh my lord. I just hit holes in ones. He must have been bored. Chuck. Anyways, we left the Pirates Cove. Next day went to Banana Cove. Mostly games and water slides. First time I went on, I thought I would die.
That's it.
That's it.
That's pretty good.
That
song,
sounds
right?
like a great
See,
stay.
the thing is, like, didn't you see? They're just so meandering. and,
Your
like-
rhyme of cove and cove is inspired.
Yeah. All right, so I have 2 more that are shorter. All right. Now I don't remember what this refers to at all, or any of these people. I have no idea who I'm talking about in this.
Fantastic.
All right, it's called Cat and Coral.
Okay.
Chuck. The other day I was lying in bed. I couldn't get these 2 girls out of my head. This chick named Cat, real name Candace. Bowman says, "See, stop now. Come on, just can this." Like he says, want me to tell the story.
Okay, Candace and Candace.
Can this. Chuck, listen to yourself, man. I can't stop here. All the girls I know will think I'm a queer. If I stop, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, this girl, she was really fine. Then the thought of her sister crossed my mind.
Oh.
She was sweet, but her sister was sweeter. Then I thought I just had to meet her. When I was thinking of Kat or when I was thinking of Coral, I couldn't keep straight thoughts. I couldn't keep my morals. I told her old Chuck this morning.
Yeah.
I had to get there and get there soon. They live in Michigan. Crap, I'm doomed. What the hell is going on here?
Well, you're doomed. You're never going to be with either of them if they're in Michigan.
Oh, man, I don't even want to go. All right.
To Michigan?
I don't know where this goes. I said, oh, well, I have to try. I'll punch that dude Sean in both of his eyes. Sean must be some sort of boyfriend or
an obstacle of some sort.
Yeah, for me. Bowman. Okay. Well, I don't know these girls, so I won't be a good handler. I'll send it back to Chuck, or as they call him, Chandler. No one called me Chandler.
It's a good rhyme.
Thanks. Me. I hopped a bus for about $3.50. It took me up. I took it up and through the city. I went all the way to Lake Michigan. Me and Bowman. I don't even know what this says.
Did you
fished, and then we fished again.
Oh, all right. Michigan?
Fished again. Right. I looked around for about 3 days, and then I left in a haze.
Oh.
I couldn't even meet. I don't know what it says. It says I couldn't even someone she knew, Harley. And then I looked for this obsessed guy, Charlie. See, this is the thing. Right. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I was sad, and I headed back home. I went in my room, and I stood alone. I thought and thought for 4 whole hours, and I came out. I still was sour. I looked around until I had a gun, and I thought I actually wanted Allison. And I don't know who any of these people are.
Wow.
Isn't that very strange?
Yes, it is.
I have no recollection. However, I will say this. Me and Bowman, now that you mentioned the internet.
Right.
Bowman had AOL in 1997.
Oh, okay.
We used to connect and just go into chat rooms and talk to girls.
Yep.
And I think I must be referring to girls that we had met and talked to on the weekend.
Right.
Very weird. This is the last one.
Okay.
It's entitled "The Fat Waitress at Applebee's."
How do you spell fat in that sentence?
P-H-A-T.
Okay. Right. Yeah. You know who'd love this? 19-year-old Black Brad.
Wow. Offensive. All right. The Fat Waitress at Applebee's. Chuck. Okay. This one's kind of hard to read, so I'm going to try. Chuck. Okay. This is about a girl at Applebee's. Bowman. We didn't meet her, but we wish we had. Chuck. Yeah. So it only seemed appropriate to write a song about her. Bowman. Right. Chuck. So here goes. Bowman. Me and Chuck were out of luck, so we decided to cruise the block. We went mini golfing. I knew I would win. It's easy playing Chuck. It's almost a sin. So that's a continuing thing in this.
Yeah,
that Bowman beats me in mini golf.
Yes.
And afterwards, we wanted some food. And Chuck turned to me and said, "Dude, Applebee's was at the end of the sentence. Did you know Merlin had an apprentice?" That surprised you, right? You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Have anything to do with it.
No, it didn't.
We walked right in and sat down. Bo the pimp and Chuck the clown. I guess I was a clown and Bo was a pimp.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like that fits your personality.
Right.
So.
I ordered a turkey club. This is Bowman. Chuck. I wanted a burger or a sub.
How are you embarrassed by this? This is so much better than anything I wrote.
Bowman. Then we saw her at a different table. She looked like Deborah or even Sable, referring to
WWE divas.
Yeah.
Actually, WWF divas at the time, I believe.
Right. We tried to get her to wait on us, but we couldn't do it without making a fuss. So we got this stupid guy. We'd ask for cake and he'd give us pie. I guess we didn't like this waiter. Chuck, so I got a big hamburger. Some people say that beef is murder. And look at this! PPL for people in 1997.
That's very good.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
That's a weird... It's like I'm a prophet.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're a prophet.
We both got large-sized Cokes. We're a couple of Coke drinking blokes. And I thought that was funny. I know that for the rest of the time that me and you were friends, you were going to call us Coke drinking blokes.
A Diet Coke drinking blokes now.
Yeah. She walked by so many times. Bowman says, "Boy, she was fine." Chuck, man, that's right. She was sweet. Bowman, when I looked at her, I moved my feet. She was beautiful. She was outrageous. Wish she'd take our number and page us. Now, we did not have beepers. And never. I don't know why.
It rhymes.
Yeah. Oh, God, she was really hot. Yeah, I wanted her a lot. So we walked right up to her and said, "Chuck, nothing." Bowman, yeah, I mean, what could we say? Chuck, yeah, really.
See, that to me fits your sense of humor perfectly.
Yeah, it does. In 1990s, I mean, yes.
Like currently,
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. And it's funny to incorporate it to back then.
we're a couple of coke drinking blokes.
Yep. What could we have said to her, Brad? What do you expect from us?
You know, if she looked like Deborah or Sable and you guys were 13. Deborah and Sable were both pretty busty blondes.
They were, I agree.
Yeah.
But that's my first attempt at writing lyrics.
Yeah.
But I was a little embarrassed about that. I was like, well, whatever.
No way. That was like cute and funny.
That was
and not,
funny.
and not scary.
It was embarrassing funny. It was good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're an hour and 42 in. I think we should move everything to the second podcast,
All right.
everything else.
All right.
Because all we had left was TV, which is kind of short anyways.
Yep.
So, thank you for listening to part 1 of our Chuck and Brammies flashback episode, 1997.
Yes. If you have recollections of your own from 1997, we won't be able to get to it in part 2 of the podcast, which we're about to record.
Right now, yeah.
But we will be happy to talk about it after on our next all original podcast. If you have memories of specific songs or bands or shows, or if you have opinions about Chuck's rap lyrics,
If you want to sign me and Bo and C,
Yes.
get the band back together,
yeah.
do it.
If you're Brenda that I wrote that story for and you had a crush on me,
Right.
let me know.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Maybe the story touches her differently now.
Yeah,
You
that's
should
true.
feel differently
That's
about
true.
it.
It seems
She's grown a
unlikely.
lot.
Possible, but unlikely.
Right. Are you the waitress at Applebee's that we were talking
Oh
about?
my goodness, that would be bizarre.
I still have a Coke drinking bloke by my side. So
Coke drinking. Well, these Coke drinking blokes are going to take a little break and then record part 2. Send us an email, chuckandbrad@gmail.com. That's all we've got for right now.
yeah, tune in for next week for part 2, which is going to be TV, movies, and more of this original bullshit.
Yes.
About me and Brad growing up in 1997.
Yes.
All right, Brad, you say it.
Deuces.
You ready, Mace? Party people in the place to be. It's about that time for us to. Yeah. What you
Hello and welcome to Agreeing to Disagree, the Chuck and Brad podcast.
I am Chuck.
I am Brad.
How you doing, Brad?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Good. We're running strong. We just did an hour and 45 minutes on our part 1 of the Brammies and Chammies flashback episode for 1997.
That's correct.
You are now embarking on part 2 of the same Brammies and Chammies flashback episode.
Yes.
More 1997 goodness.
Yes. Stuff we enjoyed in 1997 and personal stuff that we went through or
Sure. Or did.
created, yeah.
Yeah, created. And for anyone who's tuning in for the podcast for the very first time, wow.
go back and listen to last week's episode.
Yeah, basically what we do is every year we do a Brammies and Chammies of the previous year, which is our favorites. Brad, Chuck's, Brammies, Chammies, favorites, music, movies, TV, books, video games of the past year. We decided that halfway through each year now, we're going to do a flashback episode, Brammies and Chammies from 15 years before.
Right.
This is the very first time we're doing that. So 15 years before is 1997. We did part 1 last week, which entailed music.
One book, and then a bunch of stuff we had written or created or drawn or
Yes.
thought or felt.
Yes, and this week we're gonna start out with movies. We're gonna go into TV, games, video, and like a lot of more personal stuff.
Yep.
All right, so let's hit up some movies.
All right.
You ready for this?
Yes.
All right.
Our first typical category is favorite older movie I saw for the first time.
I do have one.
As do I.
All right. I talked about it last week about how me and Bowman, my good friend at the time,
Yep.
because I was 12 years old in that time period, 1997, 12 going on 13, 7th to 8th grade. We spent a lot of time, me and Bowman, my good friend, in his basement watching movies. I went to
Right.
school in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, which was kind of far away. So honestly, if I wasn't sleeping over someone's house, I probably wasn't hanging out with them.
Right.
So on Friday nights, we'd rent movies. One movie we rented, saw for the first time at Bowman's house, 1997. Don't be a menace to South Central while you're drinking your juice and hanging out in the hood.
Nice.
I think that's what it is.
It's drinking your juice in the hood. It's not hanging
My
out.
bad.
That's a funny movie.
It really is. It's a really funny movie.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a bizarre movie.
It's weird because that's that wasn't the first Wayans movie, the first movie with that style of comedy. But I think it's the best, and to go from there to like White Chicks or whatever
Yeah. Scary Movie is up there.
yeah, Scary Movie's good.
but
And then
Don't
they
Be
did the
Menace.
one where did they do one where he was a baby? One of them was
Yeah,
a baby.
yeah. It's called Wayne's Baby.
Something like that.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
Little
called.
Man.
Yes. But really, Don't Be a Menace was really good and kind of a send up of Boys in the Hood. Was Menace to Society.
Yes.
I feel like Poetic Justice might. It was
Yeah.
the
Black exploitation. Do they call
No,
it? No, it's not.
no,
it's
it
called
wasn't-
urban dramas.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Because there's a specific title that they use in terms of a parody of
right.
urban dramas.
Yeah,
I think.
and they're
Juice, obviously.
Yeah, I remembered anytime there was something that was pretty heavily didactic, Keenan Ivory Wayans would pop his head in and say "message."
Yep.
And that's kind of what I remember from that movie.
Yeah, it was a funny movie.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Do you have one for that?
I do. Favorite older movie I saw. I didn't see it for the first time, but I saw it for the first time in theaters. All 3 Star Wars movies were re-released, the special editions that year.
Wow, in '97.
And that, I talked about one of the
So
things.
what was would they have new stuff edited into them at that time?
Yeah, just a little bit of new stuff. And I remember a big group of guys from our residence hall went to see it, and I think Chad forgot his ticket. So AJ drove him back to campus and then back to the theater because Chad's like, I don't want to miss the start of the movie. And we're like, well, it's Star Wars. You've seen it 100 times. He's like, not in the theaters.
Yeah.
And AJ was a very, very very fast driver and got Chad back in time. And it was a big thing. Like Pizza Hut did posters. And so we went to Pizza Hut several times to get all 3 posters. And
That's crazy.
but seeing it in the theaters, was such a huge experience for me. So that was
Yeah.
my favorite older movie I saw for the first time in the theaters that year.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's I wish I saw the Star Wars movie in theaters. If they come back out in theaters, we'll go.
Okay.
All right. Favorite actor? Mine's hands down. I know what it is. Do you have one?
I do. Mine is not hands down, but Chris Farley was my favorite actor of the time. And it's weird because you're like, well, he's more of a comedian than an actor. I'm like, I don't care. I liked his movies the best.
Yeah. Mine, Nicolas Cage.
I considered it. I really did.
And here's why. And I couldn't believe this when I found it out, and as Brad knows.
Yeah.
Con Air and Face Off. 2 of my favorite action movies ever.
Yep.
They came out when I was in grade school. I knew that. They both came out in 1997.
Not just in 1997.
They both came out in June of 1997.
Yeah, 3 weeks apart.
Who decided that?
I have
Back
no
then, was it just not as severely looked at, you think?
I'm
maybe?
sure it was as severely looked at, but it just wasn't as common knowledge. I don't know what the deal is in terms of studios and
Yeah, usually what happens is studios there's the tentpole movies like
Right.
Spider-Man, Dark Knight this
Right.
summer, and they set them up way far ahead of time
Yep.
to kind of just be like, here's our spot, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
In terms of movies that are similar. And they do that for every genre where they
Right.
say, okay, well, there's a comedy coming out the same weekend as this.
Right.
That's a different audience than this. And they keep them really far apart.
Yep.
And to take 2 if you make a movie where it's like a guy comes out with a movie, a big star in May and then one in August.
Yeah.
That's probably okay.
Yeah.
2 in June.
Yeah,
That's
that's
crazy.
And it's weird. It's like, did they rely on John Travolta more to sell Face Off? But even though they're kind of equal, like Con Air was unquestionably a Nicolas Cage movie. But
Yes.
is Face Off like a double billing?
Right. I mean, I think John Travolta was still making a big comeback at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, if Pulp Fiction was 94, right?
Yeah, and then he had Michael and White
yeah.
Man's Burden, and
I feel like he did another big
yeah, but I don't
action
remember
movie.
what it is.
It's not Domestic Disturbance. That was later.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, there are 5 movies that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, maybe just late 90s. Face Off, Con Air, The Rock,
Yep.
Snake Eyes, and 8mm.
Yep.
That solidified to me Nicolas Cage as being in awesome movies.
Yeah.
I know that he's a joke now. He's totally a joke.
Yeah.
But those 5 movies are undeniably good movies.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, favorite actor of 1997.
He was right up there for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Actress. Let's see where you go with this.
Oh, let's see. I honestly don't know if I put. Yeah, I didn't put one down.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh my God. Me and Patrick had such a crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I like that you have to include Patrick in it.
It's true.
I
She
had
was in-
50% of the crush. Patrick had the other 50%.
It was in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
But besides that, she was just in a ton of magazines with her boobs always everywhere, and she was so hot.
I would say also in I Know What You Did Last Summer, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Although I looked at her as more like I knew her through TV, so she's in more of my TV stuff. But
Yep.
I definitely appreciated what she brought to the screen.
Yeah, her Tete brothers.
Her face.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah,
She's gorgeous. And I like Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah.
She seems like awesome. She
Yeah,
dated Jamie
she's
Kennedy,
funny.
so
Yeah.
she's got to have a sense
got-
of humor.
Yep. Yeah, it's weird
It
because
sounds like it was an insult. It's not really.
No, I was like, I thought about is Nicolette Sheridan? I don't know who the female lead in Beverly Hills Ninja. I'm
Yeah.
like, Kate Winslet, like Titanic came out in December of 97.
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
Yeah.
In terms of favorite actress, I didn't really understand acting at the time. I didn't,
Right.
you know,
I hear you.
I didn't really understand any of that. So I didn't put one down.
I hear you.
Biggest disappointments. Boy, I have 2 written down, and I had a third, and I don't remember what it was because I didn't write it down, or I thought I'd written it down.
Right.
First one, The Fifth Element, I thought was going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand anything. I thought Chris Tucker was so irritating in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get it. Like, I mean, I guess I understood it, but I didn't like it. Now, I have not rewatched it since then, so I would be willing to give it another chance.
Right.
But at the time, I was, like, so psyched to go in and see this big sci-fi tentpole. And I was like, what? I don't, like, how does he, what?
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
was so confused.
I don't remember it coming out that much in terms
Yeah.
of like seeing it right then, but
And then just in terms of, like, the biggest disappointment within the past 15 years, Batman and Robin.
that's what I put as my answer.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah. That was
It
that was
bizarre.
the George Clooney Batman where the bat suit had nipples, and Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze, Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy.
Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the Riddler was in Batman.
See,
Forever.
here's what I was gonna say. I didn't see Batman as a kid. I don't know why,
Yeah.
the original one, but I saw the other ones, and I thought Batman Returns was awesome, and I still feel that way.
Yeah.
Batman and the third Batman
Forever.
That's what it was. That's where it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
Because Val Kilmer is weird.
Yeah.
Tell me, doctor, do you like the circus?
Yeah.
He has a lisp in some scenes.
Yeah.
However, I love Jim Carrey, so I
Yep.
liked that Riddler.
Yep.
I kind of liked the world. I think Tommy Lee Jones
That's
does an
Two-Face.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I liked some of that, even though it was starting to go into that Batman and Robin territory.
Yeah.
There was enough to keep me liking it. And then Batman and Robin didn't have anything to keep me liking it, and it was totally in that weird territory.
I feel like I didn't even see it. I just heard so much negative stuff about it, and then eventually saw it on DVD or on VHS or something, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, I love Alicia Silverstone, but
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger speaks all in puns in that movie.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It
chill out.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It was not a good not the best film I've ever seen.
now you have a co-writing credit on that movie, don't you?
I do. I was supposed to be the sole writer for all the puns.
But I have the other co-writer. I took out most of the puns.
Yes.
All right. Craziest bullshit. This is one of our categories where it's like a movie that was just kind of crazy and awesome.
I didn't have one.
Anaconda.
I never saw it.
Really? With Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ice Cube?
I knew Ice Cube was in it. No idea Jennifer Love Hewitt was in it until just now.
That sounds like a Brad Magnet, giant snake, Jennifer Love Hewitt. You know?
Ice Cube, yeah.
I know.
No, I didn't see it.
I liked Anaconda. That was fun.
Well, I'm a little bit scared of snakes.
You know what's weird? I'll tell this story real quick. Last night I had a dream where my dad had a terrible snake. And he's like, never let the snake out, never feed the snake. Like it's really dangerous. So of course, like I don't know exactly what happened.
In your dream,
Dangerous
yeah.
body, yeah. The snake got out and we were like trying to get out of a house and like I don't even know who we was.
You and Jennifer Love Hewitt, probably.
Right. We were stuck in an elevator and there was like windows around it and the snake was like curling around the elevator.
Oh.
It was just so weird. The dream was so and then eventually there was like a window and I got out of it. But then when I got out of the window it was like a cab. I'm like, all right, everyone has to pitch in for the cab. It was just,
Yeah.
one of those dreams.
Yeah, dreams.
Okay, favorite comedy.
Favorite comedy? I had 3 that I wrote down.
Me too.
Private Parts.
Okay.
The based on the Howard Stern memoir. Hard to believe that Howard Stern is still.
Relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it is weird.
Because he was huge then. Like the book had come out, and I read that the year before, and then the movie came out, and I thought the movie was funny because I think Howard Stern, or I thought I don't listen to enough Howard Stern now to say like definitively one way or the other.
Right.
The first Austin Powers movie,
Right.
I thought was really funny, and but my favorite comedy of the year was Beverly Hills Ninja.
Okay. I hear you. My 3 that I didn't really pick one of.
Yeah.
Liar Liar came out that year.
Oh man, that was a funny movie.
That was a really funny movie. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yep.
Awesome. I love Chris Farley. And The Pest I loved.
I've
with
never
John
seen
Leguizamo.
The Pest with John Leguizamo.
It is such a bizarre movie where it's like the movie starts with basically the beat from you know that song I always listen to. Have you ever went over a friend's house to eat?
Oh yeah.
Basically that beat, and he sings his whole song about himself. That's how the movie starts. He's in the shower and he sings a whole song he makes up about himself.
Wow.
And it's like it's about him and his 2 friends, and it's so weird. I'd love to watch it again, but it's like the weirdest movie ever. And I watched that movie incessantly as a young kid. I'm like, this movie is awesome. And I don't know what it was that appealed to me. Maybe because it was so wacky and absurdist, and that rarely makes it to mainstream stuff, which is what you get when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But I loved that movie when I was a kid. When I was 12. But yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja. It's weird because Beverly Hills Ninja, I would have given it to Chris Farley just because he died that year.
Yeah.
But Almost Heroes is better. It didn't come out until the next year.
Okay.
And so I think that Tommy Boy and Black Sheep are also better than Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Liar Liar is actually the best comedy.
Right.
The one I watched the most of the past, and I respect Beverly Hills Ninja.
Right.
I love Chris Farley.
I feel like that was like in my mind that was like his first real starring on his own vehicle. Like yeah, Chris Rock was in it, but he had such a
minor
small
part. Yeah. Yep.
So
Thriller horror.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. That was the only one I watched.
Scream 2 came out that year.
Yes, it did. But I only watched I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
Although I think Sarah Michelle Gellar was also in Scream 2. Is that
She
correct?
was.
Yeah.
But she was a small part.
Yeah, then I may have gone to see Scream 2.
Right. I love Scream 2. So I think that's my winner for the year at the time. Now, looking back, it's probably tied with Alien Resurrection, which I also love.
Interesting.
Very scary movie.
Okay.
Action.
Con Air.
Wow.
Starring your buddy Nicolas Cage. Friend of the podcast, Nicolas Cage.
Yes. I have my should be. It should have been Face Off.
Right.
I think Face Off is a more solid action movie than Con Air in terms of storyline. And Con Air has a lot of cheese to it.
Yeah.
Where that has that accent and that has the teddy bear.
Yep.
And but that movie's awesome. I love that movie. Steve Buscemi is awesome in that movie. I love that. But Face Off is just to me a more well written and serious action movie.
I haven't seen Face Off since, which is why.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch that movie.
I know you would.
All right. But what it actually was, that was my should have been.
Yeah.
What it was, Breakdown with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah.
Which is awesome. It's a good. Me and Christian flipped over that movie when we were little kids. We
I feel like
loved that
you and I
movie.
watched that recently.
I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. His wife just disappears.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, drama, 1997.
I think you and I probably have the same one. Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
And here's my confession. First of all, I didn't see it till it came out on VHS, which
Okay.
was probably 98
Yeah, possibly.
or late, whatever.
Late 97.
I didn't like it at all.
Wow.
When I was 12
Yeah.
or 13. And now it's like one of my favorite dramas ever. But back then I was just too young.
See, we had gone to see. We had watched Mallrats many times on VHS, and I'm like, Kevin Smith, the guy who did Mallrats, has a new movie coming out. It's called Chasing Amy. I think it's about Jay and Silent Bob and the monkey, because at the end of Mallrats, they say, Jay, Silent Bob, and Suzanne, that's a different story. I'm like, how funny will that be, guys? Jay, Silent Bob, and a monkey?
And it was
And
funny.
so I convinced
In 1999.
I convinced like
Jay,
6
Silent Bob.
people to come with me to go see this movie, and like there were technical problems. The audio kept going in and out. There was a complete absence of monkeys in the movie.
Yeah.
And we still I loved it at the time, where I was like, this is like what a love story should be.
Yeah.
I was a little confused by the threesome thing at the end, but I
Yeah.
let it go. And then ultimately, like, even though the picture with like the technical problems only comprised like 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, they gave us all 2 free tickets for
Nice.
like a future
Yeah.
visit, which I used that fall to go see Event Horizon, which could have been another disappointment. But my friend AJ and I went to see Event Horizon, the Fast Driver, and so like we kind of got to experience that. Like we both would see Chasing Amy, and then he had used both of his tickets, probably on a date with a girl,
Gay.
and then I used my tickets to go see a sci-fi thriller with him,
Right.
not gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved Chasing Amy from when I saw it, and then we showed it. We had on campus. We had. I hesitate to call it a second run theater because it was movies like the weekend before they came out on VHS, and I hesitate to call it a theater. Kind of a converted lecture hall, a little area for like presentations and things that probably seated 100 people.
Yeah.
And I was a projectionist there my freshman year, and we got $14 a movie, and sometimes we got to keep the poster. And so when I saw that Chasing Amy was on the schedule, I was like, I have to show that movie because I have to get the poster. And I showed the movie on campus, and there were no technical problems. And I ended up with a poster, which I kept for like 5 years.
Yeah.
But I was all about that movie.
Yeah, that movie's one of my favorite movies still. Chasing Amy and Funny People are like my 2 favorite dramas.
Yeah.
All right, documentary. I didn't have anything.
Nope, I didn't watch documentaries in '97. Come on, I was 19.
Neither did I. I was 12.
Yeah.
Other.
Nope, don't have anything.
Neither.
Yeah.
All right, can't believe I loved it.
Oh, I don't have that category. So go
Maybe
ahead.
I made that up.
Okay.
Money Talks with Chris Tucker and Tim Robbins.
Interesting.
You ever see that movie?
I don't think so. I in my mind I
got
see
it.
the poster or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it wasn't a good movie, and I love that movie. And another movie that was kind of like that. Man, I can't think of what it
National
was.
Security.
It was a movie where
Rush Hour.
No. It was way less popular than those
Okay.
two. Money Talks. I have to find it. I
Prey.
had all these VHS tapes
Yeah.
back then, and that was one of them.
Okay.
I don't remember what
At
it
least
was.
you didn't say Speed 2.
Yeah, I know.
I still haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either. All right, overall favorite movie of the year.
Chasing Amy.
Me too. Chasing Amy. Does it say something about us that no? Runner up for me.
Okay.
The Lost World, Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park too.
I didn't see it until it was in our quote unquote second run theater. So
Yeah, I love it. I think that's one of my favorite. Like if we had an adventure category, I would have put Jurassic Park 2.
Right.
I couldn't beat out action from Face Off because I don't really consider it an action movie.
Right.
But adventure or well, I
Right.
guess just adventure. But Jurassic Park 2, I think, is a really solid movie. Okay, so movies. All done with that. We're gonna move on, and I'm gonna tell you a quick story.
oh good.
As we know, I like to short films.
Yeah.
Direct and write and everything with everybody. It started in 1997.
Oh, interesting.
What we did was, and I didn't think that there was a good way to make this pay off on the podcast, so I didn't
Right.
really bring it. I have 2 VHS tapes. Me and my buddy Justin would take a song we liked,
Okay.
set up a camera in his
Right.
room,
I like the way this is going.
and we would just film ourselves dancing and singing the song.
Wow.
Yep.
That's.
I probably would punch someone in the balls, Justin in the balls. I'm sure that I punched him in the balls at some point during it.
I would hope so.
But it was just us like dress up,
Like when you say.
like Puff Daddy and Mace.
Okay, there
and
we
like
go.
basketball jerseys,
Right.
and sunglasses, and just sing the songs and dance as 12-year-old boys tend to do.
That's beautiful. Heartwarming.
Yeah,
Are you sure that 12-year-old boys do that? Are you
I
sure
don't
you're
know.
not thinking of 12-year-old girls?
yeah.
Because I can see where you
also
get
we
the.
found naked Polaroids of Justin's mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to see those. No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
I never even got to see him. My other friends saw them. They knew where they were hidden in the house, and no one would
Okay.
tell me,
Oh, okay.
which hurts my feelings now that I think about it.
Absolutely. However, you'd probably explode if you had seen them. So
She had a hot tub in her room. And she'd
Okay.
always be like, "Oh, come in the hot tub."
you were 12.
I think it was like a family thing.
Okay. That's
I
also
don't know. I never went in a hot tub.
right.
But like, if you let me think. No, it sounds different if it's man to woman. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, but I mean, let's say we were 12. Let's say she was 35, 38. Like, if you're like, "Oh, Justin and Chuck, come in the hot tub,"
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I'm sure there's an age at which it becomes
No 30-year-old woman wanted to fuck 12-year-old Chuck.
right,
Kid,
right.
You know.
Like if you were 16, would it have been
Yeah.
weird? You know?
If I was like strangely developed, where I was like 6 feet tall,
Right.
and I was the lead basketball player,
Right.
maybe. But no, I was a baby.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, that's when we started filming videos, and it's funny because now saying it out loud, I know the order of in my life. It's like when I was in 7th and 8th grade, I filmed videos like that where I just danced with my buddy Justin and this
Right.
old camera. His dad ran a limo service, and we found the camera. It was left in a limo, and that's where we got it.
Okay.
Filmed onto videotape on VHS. And then, me and Christian started filming videos that were short sketches that you probably haven't really seen.
Right.
Just like, between 2 and 5 minute short things and
Right.
stuff like that.
The alley show.
The Alley Show. Well, it moved into the Alley Show.
Okay.
Then I moved into wrestling with me and Lou and Jordan and Christian.
Right.
And eventually it turned into sketches that were based around the wrestling and
Right.
more wrestling. And then, me and Sousa started filming in 2002
Right.
with like kind of like not pranks, but just like sort of like silly stuff like
Right.
that and sort of sketches.
Drive-through stuff.
You drive through stuff.
Okay.
And eventually into short sketches and eventually into the senior discount videos.
Right.
So I do feel like it's the inception of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I guess I do. I guess maybe I should have watched it, but I didn't really have a VHS,
Right.
a VCR available really to me. I have one.
Right.
It's just I didn't feel like trying to dig it out and hooking it up somewhere.
I know exactly where mine is.
I know where mine is too. It's
Yeah.
in my basement, but I think it's just us standing around singing. But there are 2 videotapes, and I'm like, the only songs I can remember doing it to are Money Mo Problems,
Right.
a 311 song, Prodigy.
Right.
That's 3 songs. Why did I have 2 videotapes?
Oh man, I hope one is Spice Girls.
I wouldn't be surprised. Or Bob.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I will watch them. Maybe I'll give you my VCR and the tapes, and I won't watch them, and you'll watch them just
And
to be
I'll
like,
review them in
holy
the future.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, anyways,
looks like Justin's mom is videotaping something. Huh.
I would have banged Justin's mom. There was a girl in our school that came in named Nola.
Okay.
And I thought that she looked like Justin's mom. She was
Okay.
12. That's weird, right?
Yes, it is.
But that's where I started filming. So many things started for me in 1997. Isn't
Right.
that strange?
Yes, it is.
Like the writing, the film, the drawing,
Right.
and stuff like that. Okay. On to TV.
Television.
Now, this is where the sections are going to get a little bit loose.
Yep.
I don't have a lot of categories for stuff, but
That's
I'll talk
true.
about the TV shows that I watched at the time.
Right.
And we'll see where we cross over. So you have some categories you hit.
I do. Favorite half-hour show.
Yes.
The Simpsons.
It's got to be the same for me.
It was in
Simpsons.
season 8 or season 9, somewhere around there.
That's a sweet spot in Simpsons
Yes,
history.
yes, it is. And definitely
Sweetest of spots.
I think about like, using my VCR wasn't common to just record TV, especially when I was at school. So I would like the only show I really remember, like, all right, it's Sunday night, it's 8 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Central or whatever. Like football's over, like let's watch The Simpsons. Every week, and I don't remember doing that for any other night of the week, any other TV show while I was at school.
Right.
So it had to be The Simpsons for favorite half-hour show.
Me too.
Yours as well.
I didn't fill out categories,
right.
but it would have to be Simpsons, I think. too.
Favorite hour-long show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer started that year, and
A show I've still never watched.
when I was at home over summer break, they were rerunning the first season, and I saw the first episode and missed the second, and then saw all the rest. And so when I went back to school and season 2 came up, like I would on my dry erase board, I'd be like watching Buffy go away, and I would just make it a point to watch it every week. At the satellite dish place where I worked over the summer, I used the bandsaw, and it wasn't a wooden stake, like it wasn't pointy, but it was basically like kind of a wedge.
Yeah.
Like a poorly cut wedge, and I colored the end with red Sharpie, and then wrote like "vampires stay away" or some stupid thing like that, and I carried it on rounds, like as a joke, on my security rounds for the building, and so that I was like, man, when was I into Buffy? And it was then, because I remember making that stupid stake, that wasn't really a stake. Yeah. And I loved that show. I just thought it was so funny, and Sarah Michelle Gellar was so pretty. Yeah. And I was so behind it.
Yeah. That's how everyone was about Buffy.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know it.
Yeah.
All right, moving. Do you have other categories filled out for this?
Let's see here.
Because I didn't watch anything.
I had favorite actress was Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay.
I mean, I was head over heels in love with her. Favorite actor, I don't really know, but I guess the cast of ER.
Dr. McDreamy? I don't know what show that is.
No, it was the guy who played Goose in Top Gun, Anthony Edwards. In late '96, there was a storyline between his character and like the female doctor's character, played by Sherry Stringfield, and she I guess she walked off the show, or she quit the show. She's like, I know I signed a contract for 5 years. It's too much. I can't handle it. I need to leave now. And so they wrote her out just as the romance was heating up, and she broke his heart. And we watched this again, late '96, doesn't count as '97. We were screaming at the TV, like, fuck you, Susan Lewis. How dare you do that to Dr. Green? How dare, what's wrong with you? And, there were probably 6 of us, 6 males yelling at the TV, brokenhearted for Dr. Green that this had to happen. So I guess ER was, in terms of actors, that was the biggest show that I watched. At the time. Favorite reality show, they didn't really exist at the time. Right. Favorite sports moment, the Bulls won the title.
I was going to say, that was my favorite sports moment, because I was a huge, bless you,
Thank you.
I was a huge Bulls fan in '97.
Nice.
I had a big, I had the poster of Michael Jordan jumping from the free throws line to dunk the ball.
Yeah, they beat the Utah Jazz in '97 and in '98. Yep. Least favorite.
Was that year, was New England in the Super Bowl in '97 with the Packers? Or no?
I'm trying to think of where I would have watched it.
The Packers won the Super Bowl in '97.
Okay, then yes.
Then yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
that was huge around here.
Right.
That was
less huge in Peoria.
Yeah. It was huge though. I don't know if maybe there was a dry run before that in terms of the Patriots, because now I don't think it's as big of a deal.
Right.
But back then that was a huge deal.
Honestly, I don't really remember watching it. I remember one football game from '96, and that was the day I got my N64, and the Bears played the Jets and beat them on a late field goal or an overtime field goal or something because we were in the next room playing Super Mario 64. I don't really remember the Super Bowl from that year. I remember like where I watched it 2 years later.
Yep.
And the people I watched it with, but not really so much that year. So the Bulls winning the title was the big thing for me.
Right.
Favorite trashy reality show, that certainly didn't exist. Although I guess maybe The Real World by default.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Real World existed.
Road Rules, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't watch those shows. Brad's going through our normal categories.
Yeah,
for
most
TV.
disappointing show. I didn't really have one.
Yep.
I didn't realize until I read it later that like Family Matters switched from ABC to CBS that year.
I know, neither did I. I didn't know that either.
And I feel like there was another show that switched over as well. Like, so those were our typical, like normally, and then we have like favorite overall show.
Yeah.
But it was definitely The Simpsons for me.
So basically, when I looked at the list, I saw Friends was on that year.
Yes, it was.
Which Friends ended in 2002 and started in 1992, so it was season 5, and that was an awesome time for Friends. Like
Right.
people get shitty about later seasons of Friends, but
Right.
season 5, season 6 are awesome.
Seinfeld was still on.
Seinfeld was on, right? There was his 8th season right before, or did it end on season 8 or did it end on season 9?
It ended in '98. So
Yeah, season 9 though, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So this season was the only one I think without Larry David.
Right.
But that was an awesome season anyways. Sabrina the Teenage Witch I kind of watched.
Right.
Because TGIF and SNCC were a big part of my life back then.
Oh, yeah.
When I was 12 and 13, I used to go to Christian's house often. I guess if I wasn't at Bowman's.
Yes.
On Friday nights and sleep over. No, Saturday nights and sleep over. Because TGIF we'd watch at my house, which was the ABC,
Right.
which we've done a podcast about.
Right.
And then SNCC was Christian's house, where we'd watch Are You Afraid of the Dark, and let's see, Kenan and Kel, all that, and Kablam. And Kablam was awesome. They Toasters did the theme song for that TV show.
Nice.
Obviously, I love Kenan and Kel and all that. And then TGIF was Friday, and that year it was let's see, Family Matters, Boy Meets World, Teen Angel,
I remember that show.
which it lasted a very short amount of time.
Yes,
I think
it
one
did.
season.
Yep.
But the mom was super hot.
Okay.
And I thought the show was awesome. I thought it was super funny. And Step by Step, which I loved,
Okay.
with Suzanne Summers and whatever
Yeah.
his name is, Patrick Duffy. But I like Friends. I like Seinfeld. Home Improvement was on during that time,
Yeah.
which is a good show. The Nanny I loved.
See, I did not love The Nanny.
I had such a huge crush on Fran Drescher. I think
Right.
she's gorgeous.
Oh, I think she's gorgeous as well. I just didn't watch the show.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Animaniacs was a
Yep.
favorite of mine in 1997. I
Yep.
love that show. Like I said, Boy Meets World was a big deal to me. Are You Afraid of the Dark was awesome.
I never watched it.
I closed my eyes every time it showed the dummy in the attic of the opening credits of the show. I never would look at it. Third Rock from the Sun was a good show that was on.
Okay.
And I guess that's it. That's what I kind of remember is those comedies. But you know what? I didn't religiously watch anything.
Right.
Even in terms of TJF and SNCC, we tried to.
Right.
But I never even had it never even struck me to make it a priority to watch a show weekly.
Right.
Even The Simpsons, which I probably was on Sunday nights at that point in time.
Right.
No, probably was on Thursday nights at that time.
Oh, maybe it was.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, it could have been. I
don't
don't
know
remember which
either.
one was which.
But I love The Simpsons and I love all those shows and I watched them off and on. But you know what? Later on when I rewatched a lot of The Simpsons as an adult, I saw pretty much every episode.
Yeah.
I can't even think of one that I saw for the first time later.
Right.
Until I got to Mako.
Yeah.
Which was probably season 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my favorite TV shows of the time.
All right.
All right, so some other stuff. What happened? Bulls won. I put that.
Hooray.
Because we have an others category. Princess Di
Yep.
died that year, which was weird for me as a 12-year-old because I didn't really understand what paparazzi was and why it happened.
Right.
It's actually kind of still weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were speeding to get away from him.
Yeah.
That's weird. But Princess Di, I don't really know her place in pop culture history previous to that.
Shit, like the royal
So
wedding
young.
was
Right.
one of the most watched things of all time. To me, I didn't see what in my mind. I'm like, well, she's British. Like, why should I care?
Wow.
Well, I mean,
That's a lot of people you're upsetting in these episodes.
I'm sure it's three groups of people. But and it wasn't until later that I'm like, oh, she did all these humanitarian things and blah blah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that I learned about her as a person.
Yeah.
But before I'm like, well, she's just a symbol, and
Yeah,
she's it's not like it's oh boy, who was Chelsea Clinton? Like
Yeah.
I guess it's the closest thing we would have had.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
it didn't impact my day-to-day life.
Yeah,
At all.
Yeah, I was too young to understand. What was
Yeah.
going Mike Tyson biting the ear of Evander Holyfield was that year.
I watched that fight live, and I was like, "Oh man, he headbutted him," and then I'm like, "Oh, it looked like he bit him," and then the second time you saw him spit something, and I was like, "Oh no!"
It's crazy,
Yeah,
right?
I was disgusted
Yeah, it's crazy.
and fascinated. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Dolly the sheep.
Got cloned.
We cloned that year.
Oh, okay.
We haven't really done anything with cloning since then.
No, we haven't.
Like, why did we clone Dolly the sheep and then just stop?
I don't know.
Like the mouse with the ear on its back.
Yeah.
That's fake.
Yes.
It's a fake photo.
I hope so. Yes.
Why did we clone Dolly the sheep?
Because we could.
But then, like, why didn't we say, like, let's find a good way to use this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're growing extra sheep somewhere.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. And Dolly the sheep was fine, right? It was perfect.
Yeah, I think so.
That's really weird. I don't know why we didn't go anywhere. Chris Farley died.
Yep.
Notorious B.I.G. died. I still have the Entertainment Weekly about Chris Farley's death. I
Wow.
still have it 15 years later because I love Chris Farley.
Yeah.
I loved him. Eddie Murphy and the transsexual prostitute that he was giving a ride to was 1997.
Okay, I didn't remember that.
Do you remember that at all?
I remember the situation. I don't remember. Like again, it's weird. I was so insulated at college
Yeah.
that I didn't follow news.
It's weird to be
At all.
12 years old at that time.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of where I got my news from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like when I was home, I'd read the paper,
Yeah, I didn't read the paper at all.
but when I'd get to school, like I'd watch the 2 syndicated episodes of The Simpsons, go eat dinner, come home, maybe watch primetime TV, maybe play video games.
yeah.
You know, maybe read. You know, like hang out with people.
Yeah.
Lots of hanging out, but very little like let's hear about the news.
Yeah.
Very little.
It's weird. But yeah, that was just some other stuff because we usually do an other category about
Right.
favorite sports stories, favorite news stories,
yeah, stuff like
and this,
that.
we can't really do it with this kind of
Yeah.
time lapse. Okay, so here I want to bring you some stuff. This is my last personal contribution.
Okay.
All right. First of all, I brought some drawings that I did.
Oh,
Here's a
good.
picture I drew, and it's me.
Okay.
Here's a picture. Brad's going to describe the picture I drew.
All right. The background is what appears to be flames.
Like hell.
There's red and yellow and orange and squiggles indicating flames. There is a dragon-like creature. Let's go ahead and call it a dragon, standing on what appears to be a rock. The dragon, instead of a dragon-like lizard-shaped head, has it's a vaguely human-esque head with green horns. It's a black head with green horns, green eyes, no apparent nose, and a mouth with sharp green teeth that match the green spines going down its back and tail. It is breathing fire across the neck of somebody.
It's me. I drew myself.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what your shirt says.
It's a hockey jersey.
Okay.
I think.
No, it looks like it says soccer, like LOS soccer or something like that.
Yeah.
You're in what appear to be blue pants, and it's a white shirt with red, white, and blue, or like baby blue,
So it's
navy blue.
It's a fire-breathing dragon breathing fire in my face.
Yeah.
That was originally my dad's face, and I blacked it out.
Wow. Yeah, I can see the curly hair underneath. Why did you draw your dad as a fire-breathing dragon attacking you?
He pissed me off.
Oh,
And
okay.
this is for art class. Pretty good though, right?
Yeah, it is.
All right. What are some other drawings?
It's a sweet headband you're wearing.
Thanks. I used to draw me and my friends at the time as characters. I was a mouse, kind of like Mr. Mouse, as I
Right.
talked about, beating up a cat of some sort. He's
Okay.
already in traction. I used to draw superheroes that I made up that were based on me and my friends.
Right.
Here's some superheroes I drew. Just drawings of kind of like,
These are all really good.
they're pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I'm just bringing some
Like there's a guy in a cape. He's got a dog. There's another dog that's kind of half off the page, and there's a cat. Like, it looks like it could be standing on the guy's left shoulder, and the right hand is on the guy's head.
Yep.
And the cat is giving the Black Power salute. There's a Deadpool mask looking guy with
Yep.
sharp abs.
Yep.
A cat with a gun and a cape shooting another cat, or aiming at another cat. What appears to be a pirate dog behind a merman. And then a guy with what could be a backwards baseball cap standing above a pile of goo.
Here's a picture I drew of Calvin and Hobbes.
It's the parents from Calvin and Hobbes yelling Calvin in his spaceman spiff outfit yelling Susie, you're next. Buff Hobbes saying take that Rosalind, who was the babysitter. Then a pile of rubble and the bow from Rosalind's hair falling down, and Susie Durkins looking freaked out.
Yes. So here's the reason I'm bringing this all up. Let's see.
to show how psychotic you were in your youth.
Back then, I had a group of friends that had a moniker
Okay.
of a few letters
Okay.
that I considered all my friends, and I drew pictures of them.
What an odd original concept.
Yeah. And it's very similar to the VBW.
Oh, that's where I've heard of it before. It's ACE, it looks like.
Yeah, Ace. Because we liked Ace Ventura.
Okay.
And the reason I bring it is because, now I have a different group of friends, obviously, 15
Right.
years later, that is really important to me, and that we do a lot of creative stuff together.
Right.
And back then, I kind of expressed it like this with drawings, because obviously we were 12.
Right.
It was kind of like, almost like trading cards, but
Yeah.
the big ones, drawings of like each character with their age, weapon, animal. Because I would draw like, my friend Nick, I drew as a dog.
Right.
Bowman, I drew as an ape. My friend Ryan Taylor.
That's a
this
crocodile.
dragon.
Oh, dragon. Okay.
This is kind of like a gecko.
A stoned
Frankel,
gecko.
Greg Sampson.
An angry yellow.
It's like a toad
Okay.
frog, it says.
Okay.
A wizard. my
Oh,
buddy
yeah, that's
Justin.
an animal.
It's not an animal. Yeah, you're right. Rabbit for my buddy Andrew.
Yeah.
And then we had kids in school that were kind of friends with us,
Yeah.
but were more like the nerds.
Yeah. Like the GameStop gays.
Yeah, and they were like the other ones, like the ones we made fun of. So it was like there's Gibson who had a terrible acne problem,
Right.
and so he drew this weasel that I drew.
A weasel with a terrible acne problem.
Yeah. But yeah, I found this and I was like, man, like this took so much time. Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
There's like so many characters in here. And yeah, their name was they had their own moniker of like names, and it was dissed, like DISSIDD.
Nice.
Disrespected is
Yes.
short for. Yeah, I thought this was crazy. But anyways, I thought this was great. At the end of the book is my drawing pad, and I was 5 years
Right.
old, and Denny was 13 when I made this, so he
Right.
was
8.
8. And he drew a picture of himself playing basketball and wrote Dennis at the top.
Makes sense.
And I wrote, "As smart as an idiot." Right?
Nice. You showed him.
And then I wrote Dennis, and then he wrote Dennis again.
Yeah.
Then I wrote, "Shouldn't draw in my book."
Okay.
And then under it, he wrote, "And you shouldn't leave your stupid book in my room." And then in smaller pen, "Well, you should check first." Because I was mad that he drew in it. And I thought that was really weird.
Way to get the last word against your 8-year-old brother.
I guess so. We seem pretty evenly.
Yes.
And this is the final thing. That's an explanation. It's a continuation of that. That you're gonna be like, I'm gonna give it to you, and you're gonna try to figure out what it is.
I'm already amazed by that drawing pad and kind of the quality of all the drawings. I'm gonna have to scooch back
Yeah.
from the microphone here. So
Yeah, I just gave Brad a folder full of pieces of paper, and I want him to look at it and see what it is. See if he can figure out what I was doing.
well, it looks
And
like
I'll explain
it could be a flip book of some sort. It appears to be a guy falling with a gun,
Yep. And then what happens?
and then he's flat on the ground. The gun's next to him. Oh, he sits up.
Yeah.
He appears to have a mustache and a high top fade now. Oh, now he's turning towards I guess what would be the camera, like the drawer. Then his hair's standing up and his gun is possibly firing.
Yep. He's firing at you.
Oh, okay. Then
So what? Keep looking. Then there's other things.
Samson 2 is a different guy on a rope
Yep.
coming down. He's angry. He's shooting.
Yep.
Dwight 1, stripes on hat are orange.
These are all drawings, and Brad thinks that they're flipbook drawings, and they
Well,
kind
now I'm
of.
not sure.
And now they're all with guns aiming at the person viewing it.
Right.
And there's tons of them. How many pages are there?
I don't know.
Hundreds, right?
Yeah, I'd say 75 to 100. Upside down.
Read. What does that say? What's that?
This says James
no, this
2.
one right
Oh, right,
here.
this one. It says, on top of screen, if you kill this this is a video game. On top of screen, if you kill this hostage, it will say +1 life because you killed Touchy Feely. He can just come up and then stay for a few seconds. And it's a guy in like a polo with a cute little hat, looking worried with his arms up. Is this a light gun game?
I was drawing a light gun game based in my school
Wow.
about all my friends and everyone I knew. And all the
Bowman
characters.
2 is like a wacky guy wearing a fedora. This guy appears to have a soccer ball over his head.
Yeah, he throws
Possibly.
a soccer ball at you instead
Okay.
of
Oh, instead of guns.
shooting. Yeah. And I was trying to draw a video game where we would scan in these individual frames of people, and we'd color them in the computer, and then eventually make a shooting game where you could kill the characters.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is.
Especially so long ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I thought the technology would exist. Like now, I think it'd be not that difficult.
Right.
But
I mean, we've all played Target Terror. So.
right, exactly. So it's like, but back then I was trying to make, and also think about this. I have the backgrounds in there, like the ones that are big and folded.
There's lockers.
So think about this. It's like a school shooting video game.
Yes, it is.
In 1997.
Thank goodness it came out in 97 and not after.
Isn't that crazy?
Background for forest, pretty poorly drawn trees.
Hey, who cares about the background?
That's true. If I can shoot Bowman too.
Yeah. Isn't that weird though?
Yeah, it is.
I found that and I was like, holy shit.
McGee 2. McGee 1 comes up. Oh man.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's
Think of how much time I spent drawing stuff back
Yeah.
then, right?
that's bizarre. To
Isn't
me.
it crazy?
That's
And so I thought that was crazy. Yeah, I just wanted to do like a school shooting thing. It's funny because I'm trying to
and
think,
not like a school shooting thing to
No.
actually hurt them, but that was what you knew.
and it was like I'm in there as one of the characters. It's,
Yeah.
it's just everyone is. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, it'd be cool to make a video game with my friends.
Right.
And it makes sense to do it like this. This person pops up. And
Right.
You shoot him. And I think the idea was that we had a friend who had a scanner and he could scan them in and you'd click on them
Okay.
with a mouse as opposed to
Right.
shooting them with a kind of,
Right.
television screen.
So it's more of a whack-a-mole
Yeah.
than a light gun game.
So, yeah. So, just to finish off my personal stuff.
Right.
That's kind of like I basically had like a group of friends back then, and we hung out. It had to be kind of rarely, especially in a group setting. But we did go do some things like go to the movies and go to
Right.
Bowman's and have like birthday parties or whatever. And what I was trying to remember was girls that I had crushes on back then.
Right.
And one of the things I could not find for this was my yearbook.
Oh, okay.
And I really wanted to bring it in and try to find it, but I didn't find it. So, anyways, I was trying to think of the girls that I liked in that class, and here's what I remember. I had a big crush on a girl named Alana Silva.
Yes.
And it was just because she was cute. Like she was definitely, if I remember correctly, she was kind of bitchy, and I always am attracted to girls that are kind of bitchy.
Right. Kind of.
And she, smart alecky.
Right.
And I remember having a huge crush on her. And it's weird because I remember kind of at the time being attracted to many girls, but I can't remember any others except the whole time she was like, I had a crush on her probably for like a small, like not like I'm not pursuing it. Plus you're 12.
Right.
So what the hell are you going to do? For a couple years. And then a girl came in named Lisa West. And she was like this super hot black girl that came in 7th grade. And obviously hot to me at the time. I don't really.
Right.
And I just had a huge crush on her, but it was totally like a lust crush. And like it was a big deal. Like it was a big deal that I had a crush on this girl, and she totally like paid me no attention at all. She had no idea,
Nice.
But I'm like, man,
Now you know how it feels.
I really felt like I was like tortured all the time by the fact that I couldn't get any girls.
Right.
But I'm like, but I'm Lisa and Alana. Like those are the only girls I remember pretty much liking. Like I just told Brad, I do want to look at my yearbook, but I think it's more important for my 8th grade yearbook because that was kind of the graduation from grade school.
Right.
And we all had blurbs and big pictures and everyone signed stuff. So I think that'll be
Yeah.
funnier to go through than my 7th grade one, which
Right.
is just we were a class.
Do you want me to bring my yearbooks, like my 8th grade yearbook, back? I'm going home in a couple
You
weeks.
should. You totally should.
I think it'd be funny.
But I remember liking Lisa West and Alana Silva. And funnily enough, I don't really know any of the people from my high school anymore.
Right.
But one of the people I ran into in the past few years was Dory Wark,
Okay.
who I never really talked to in grade school.
Right.
And I think she's like so attractive now that I'm like, man, like why doesn't Brad try to bang Dory Wark? You should try. She's really cute.
I don't know her.
All right, I'll send you a picture of her, and you
Okay.
can try.
Right.
But I must have been attracted to other girls, and I just am like, oh, I don't remember them now. So if I
Right.
had my yearbook, I would. Maybe next year, our 1998 one,
Right.
I'll be able to pick out girls in it. But I remember that being the deal, and I remember playing Spin the Bottle.
Oh man, I never got to play Spin the Bottle.
I played Spin the Bottle, all the girls with like 4 or 5 girls, and it was 4 or 5 guys at my house
Wow.
in Bristol, and it landed on Alana.
Right.
the girl I had a crush on, and she was dating Nick at the time.
Oh.
And I was like, this was probably more me being sheepish. I'm like, I can't kiss Alana because she's dating Nick.
Right.
And everyone's like, just do it. And she's like, just do it. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah.
And I still didn't do it. I should have done it because
Yep.
12-year-olds dating, that's not going to go anywhere. I wasn't ruining anything.
Yep.
I
Hey,
should've-
you
should've
never
kissed
know.
her.
You never know.
I should have kissed her because maybe then I could have made out with her at some point or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's too bad. Maybe that was my whole hold up.
Right.
I could have avoided all those years of sexual frustration.
Possible.
But yeah, that's my final stuff on the personal stuff. I gotta say, I love Bowman, and I was close to Nick Appleman,
Right.
and Andrew Frankel, sort of, and some other kids. But besides Bowman, I consider those kids kind of like, I just didn't really stay friends with them after we left grade
Right.
school, after we were taking class together.
Right.
And maybe it would have been different if I lived around them. But I think
Right.
everyone was kind of spread out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It just seemed like Bowman and Nick both lived in Portsmouth, but not close enough to walk anywhere or anything like
Right.
that. But yeah, so that was my group of friends in grade school, of which I'm not really friends with any of them. I wish I was still friends with at least Bowman.
Right.
I'm kind of like, I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, should I send this to them or
Yeah,
what?
it's weird.
It's really weird. Because if they were like, I thought we were the best friends, like, I don't know.
I thought we were still
Or if
best
there's a
friends.
girl and the girl's like, you fingered me in the closet, like that's not gonna happen. But,
Right.
maybe I'll get some clarification. Maybe I'll send this to Bowman.
Yeah.
And tell him to listen to it and tell him to clarify if anything
Yeah.
weird happened. I'll tell a quick story about Bowman.
I'm sorry. Are we not doing video games?
We are.
Okay. We're doing personal stuff now, then video games.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have an other and personal category.
all right.
And we couldn't come up with the real things for it.
Right.
So I figured that's what we'll
Because
talk
at some
about.
point I get to talk about the girls I was attracted to in '97.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But one time I went to Bowman's house, and someone was in his bathroom, so I used his mom's bathroom.
Okay.
So I went to go pee,
Right. I'm with you so far.
flush the toilet.
Yep.
No, I didn't flush the toilet because I was always scared of flushing the toilet while I was in the room. I don't know why. When I was a child,
Okay.
I would wash my hands, then flush the toilet, and run out of the room before it was finished flushing.
Okay.
I turned on her sink,
Right.
and you ever turn on a sink that's way more high powered than you thought?
Absolutely.
I did that, and it went all over the wall.
Oh boy.
And the toilet was so close to the wall that it looked like I peed all over the wall.
Wow.
So I was super uncomfortable with the fact that it looked like that.
Yeah.
And we had to go somewhere, and I was like 12.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Bowman was like, "All right, Chuck, like, let's go."
Yeah.
So I was in the bathroom, and I'm like, "Oh, hold on." And I was trying to dry it with a towel.
Right.
And she was like, "Let's go. We gotta go." And I probably stayed in there for 45 minutes and made us wicked late to whatever we went to.
Wow.
Because I didn't want them to think I peed on the wall, and I just kept. And it was wallpaper, so
Yeah.
it just like soaked in.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was trying to dry it and dry it and dry it and dry it.
Wow.
And it just you had this big stain on the wall. I'm sure it dried because it was just water.
Yeah.
But I didn't want them to. I don't want to open the door and have them be like, "What'd you do?" Like,
That's funny.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I remember that. But yeah, it was a weird time. I wish I was more serious about girls. I feel like there was a girl I could have kissed at some party that something happened. I remember my friend Crosby had a party where it was like a foam party
Okay.
where it was just like a Halloween party, but we
Yeah.
had foam.
Wow. A phone party at like 13 is crazy to me.
Yeah, it was really weird. His parents were like wacky.
Yeah. That sounds.
I remember.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I remembered. We played Spin the Bottle there too, and I feel like I either didn't get a turn or didn't
Right.
sit down to play
Right.
or something. And some girl was like, "If you want me to kiss you, I'll kiss you." And it was a girl that I was like, like now, if I was single, I'd be like, "All right, let me bang you," and I'd bang
Yeah.
her because that'd be the equivalent.
Right. That's how Spin the Bottle works. And
Now,
as an adult.
when we play it now, we just have sex with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
It's very a lot of illegitimate children.
Yes.
But back then, I can
We
only
call,
remember.
we call them bottle babies.
All I remember is Alana Silva and then Lisa West, who I was like highly, highly attracted to,
Okay.
like crazily attracted to. I'll show you a picture of her at some point. I only have one, I think. I don't even know if I still have it now that I think about it because I went and scanned in all my old pictures and I don't think I saw one of her. It was just mostly me and Bowman,
Right.
and Lou, because it was different pictures. But that was my 1997 in terms of friends and
Right.
and girls. I got nothing. I got no steps. No steps. No 13-year-old Chuck is becoming a man.
Right.
No,
If-
I
if-
held a hand with this girl.
Right.
I wish, but it didn't happen.
Not that mine was much better at 18 and 19. I'd say for the first, kind of all year, in my mind, it's like spring semester of my freshman year, then summer, then fall semester of my sophomore year. And so that's kind of how I look at it. And I look at kind of the first semester was when I first saw a picture of this girl, Janine. And I'm still friends with Janine, and she's still beautiful. But I was smitten
Right.
Immediately from seeing this picture, and I was like, Chad, who's this girl in this picture with you? And he explained it. He's like, oh, she's in this, and this is how I know her, and she works here. And then there was at the Bradley University girls basketball game, it was like 25-cent hot dog night or something, and as a way to get students to go. So we went, and I saw her there. I'm like, Chad, introduce me to her. And so he did, and I was like, hey, it's really nice to meet you. And then I just kind of left. And she has, she later said, she was like, I thought it was so cool that you didn't stay and try and talk to me, that you were just like, hey, it's a nice casual meeting. I'm like, I was overwhelmed when I met you. I had no idea what to say.
To cry.
Yeah. And I was
really
super
funny.
attracted to her. And then I was also super attracted, like in an unattainable pedestal kind of way, to a girl, Brenda, I talked about in the last podcast, where she was roommates with one of the RAs from a different building that, like our two buildings shared a hall council, and I was hall council president. And I always wanted to impress Brenda because I always thought she was so beautiful, and like all the other RAs knew about it and kind of teased me about it, but like in a supportive way.
Yeah,
where it's like,
yeah.
hey, Brad, you going to make sure Brenda goes ice skating with us? I'm like, I'll try. Like, and she was always busy with like sorority stuff and being cool. And so she never had time for like, I was dorkier then than I am now. And
That cannot be possible.
yeah, I know. And so like by the end of the year, like the last month, I finally got the courage to like talk with her and interact with her, and she was, super nice and everything. And then she moved into her sorority house the following year, and I probably saw her on campus once or twice in the intervening, the intervening 2 years she was on campus. But I was just, she was. All right, my other big crush from that year was Sarah Michelle Gellar from Buffy, and in my mind,
different.
They're almost the same. Like they're both unattainable for me, for similar but very different reasons.
Yeah,
where they're just at no point where
Did you
they
actually
were either
think
one of them.
like that, like this isn't even worth like trying.
No, I tried. She was there, and I was so like, Chad and I had the joke that she was so pretty that you would look at her and you'd say, "Grr, grr." Because like that's like your animal instinct reaction, looking at her and thinking that. And so we called her the Grr with 4 R's, because I'm like, I don't want to write it out G and 100 R's every time. So it was 4 R's. And it took me so long to get, but like, college girls, when they're like, all right, I have to go downstairs and eat lunch, like they don't put on makeup or so she's down there in like pajama pants and like an old t-shirt. And I'm like, she's beautiful. She's stunning. Like, I've never seen anyone like her. And I honestly, like, of girls I've met and interacted with, I hesitate to quantify these things, but she's probably in the top 3 women I've ever been attracted to.
Yeah.
And Janine was a very different kind of attraction, where I think she's beautiful. I thought she was beautiful, but I knew her. Like, I met her and worked with her and talked with her. So the first semester was going back and forth between my attraction to those two. Then over the summer, I worked at Satellite Dish Place and was not attracted to the one girl I worked with there. Well, I guess one girl kind of came and went, and she was the daughter of one of the owners, and she was going to school the following year. So I talked with her about like what a freshman year was like, and she was just like, we got along. We were buddies.
Yeah.
And then there was the girl who had slept with 48 guys, and she turned 21 that summer. And she's like, oh, yeah, I slept with these 26 guys in a 1-year period. That's once every 2 weeks. I'm like, I can do the math. Thank you. And she's like, I slept with a guy named James Hendricks just so I could say I slept with Jimi Hendrix. I'm like, that's the only reason? That's the only reason. I'm like, okay. And then
Change name to
yeah, she had
Was she
Kurt
cute?
Cobain. I don't really think so. I wasn't attracted to her. She was the type of girl who like shaved the sides of her head.
Yeah.
She drove a big truck. It probably said like "girls rule, boys drool," or "silly boy trucks are for girls," or something like that. Where it was just not a girl I was attracted to. And then going back in the fall, it was RA training, and so I met all these like girls that were pretty and like they were competent and they were smart and leaders. And I was, I don't say overwhelmed, but I was like, there are so many girls here that I could get to know, and I just didn't know what to do. And all I wanted to do was get to know Janine, because I kind of knew her before and I thought she was pretty. And like I would just go up to her room to see if she was there, because we were RAs in the same building. And definitely really wanted to date, like seriously wanted to seriously date her. And nothing really ever came. I think we went on one date, and it was like I was sick, and like we went out to eat and then out to ice cream, and I was getting like a horrible head cold, and so like I couldn't taste anything, and it wasn't a super fun. In fact, that might have been like, I want to take you on a date, but I want it to be different than dinner, and we were going to go to the pumpkin patch and pick up pumpkins and bring them back and decorate them. Which is like, let's face it, as far as I'm concerned, that's a great date idea.
It is a good idea.
And she was like, I don't really feel like going, and so we ended up, I think, just going for ice cream. In fact, I don't think we went for dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was probably snot all over my face. It was it was not a great date. But you know, we're still friends, and she's still a good person, and she's happily married and has an adorable child. So things worked out for her.
Yeah. She named her child Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, weird. So that was kind of 97 when I think about it. I'm sure there was another girl or two in there.
Yeah.
But really traumatically for me is that my friend Chad, his girlfriend broke up with him in like November-ish of that year, and he had been planning. No, that was in the spring. He was planning the P Residence Ball, where it was for Residence Hall students. It was a semi-formal dance, and it was on President's Day or President's Day weekend, so we called it the P Residence Ball.
Yeah.
And he was so stressed out from planning and being sad, he like stopped eating, and like he had a really hard time dealing with it. And this was my first time like having to kind of be there for somebody as they were going through it. And going through something like that. And I remember writing him an email comparing his situation to the end of Empire Strikes Back, where I was like, look, you know, Megan and I are going to be there in the Millennium Falcon to pick you up. Like, things will get better. You will have an opportunity. And, you know, he later said, like, that meant a lot to me. And, like, he and I have used kind of that metaphor to counsel one another.
That's good.
Throughout the years. And, but when they broke up, like, I was devastated for him. And, like, I called her the root of all evil. And I despise her to this day, you know, and just because I should.
Yeah.
And I don't know how she is as a person. I don't really, yeah.
Yeah.
And, but then Chad, like, you know, started dating and was much more successful in terms of dating than I was. So then I got really jealous of Chad. But that was more 98. Yeah. 97, I believe he had one smoocheroo.
You're driving the Millennium Falcon away.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on to see how long you can hang on to Cloud City now. So yeah, that was 97 for me was pursuing, like not pursuing one girl because I was so intimidated by her, and then pursuing one and just not succeeding. I wouldn't say I failed, but I don't know that I ever actually asked her, other than the one date we went on. I never like said like, I'm really interested in dating you. I think it was just like, I want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember. Hang on one second. Let me check I have my staff roster for that year, and I'm almost certain it was mostly RAs I was attracted to.
While you're looking for that,
Yes, please.
one thing I missed about college that I think about is the idea of girls being like being around girls where they live and where they're super comfortable, because I think it's easier to have sex with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know that, like, you know, one of the first times I saw Alyssa and I was like really interested in her was when she went to GameStop for some reason in Seekonk, and I saw her there when she was 18.
Right.
And she was wearing pajama pants. I was like, oh my God, she's wearing pajama pants. It's so hot. Look at her butt. Like, I don't know why, but I was so into it. And I remember another time later when I went to go pick up Lou at his college in New York.
Right.
And his friend Lena was there. And she's a friend of his now. And this is probably a couple of years ago. And I thought she was really cute. I think she's really cute. I was in a relationship at the time, so I wasn't going to try to have sex with her or anything.
Right.
But I thought she was cute. And I was like, man, this girl's pretty cute. And I was kind of flirting with her a little bit. And I was like, I went to go pants her, and it was the first time I ever met her, and she was wearing pajama pants, and I was going to pants her, which is really over the line.
Yes, it is.
And she's like, no. She's like, don't pants me. And I'm like, how come? She's like, I'm not wearing underwear. I'm like, whose fault is that? And I kept trying to pants her. And, like, she responded positively to it, even though it was the first time I ever met her.
Right.
And I'm like, man, if this was college, like, if I went to lived at college, I could have pants girls with pajama pants on, and they would have, like, found it to be, like, funny and flirting all the time, and then I would have fingered them.
Sometimes.
Most of them.
Yeah, that's probably it.
But I feel like it would have been so much easier to sleep with girls, and I should have done it. I just never thought of it as something I don't know. So this is a story for another podcast, how I feel about that.
Yeah, I look at this list, and I was definitely attracted to other girls, but never really pursued them. All right. I don't know if the story happened in 97 or 98. I'll tell it now, and maybe again next year. I'll forget that I told it. A girl named Alina was, no, that definitely happened in 98. Never mind. Never mind.
It's the next year.
Yeah, it is, and it's a funny, like, typical Brad story. I think I've told you before, but
All right.
it'll be new to the podcast audience. So
Sure will. By the way, after this, I'm excited for next year's.
I want to go home and make notes and be like,
I
oh,
know.
don't forget to talk about this.
I know, that's
And
how I
truthfully, I want to go home and make lists for like up to 2008 while I remember it now, so that I'm remembering 5 years ago instead of 15 years ago.
I'm kind of dependent on the fact that I have so much more saved up through email
Right.
and stuff that I wrote people. Because
Yeah.
1997 is a different age.
Yeah, I didn't start saving like sent messages because Yahoo had such a small storage size. I didn't start saving sent messages until like 2006 or 2007.
See, I had AOL probably
Yeah.
until 2009 or 2010.
Right.
No, 2009. And Lou had Gmail for years.
Right.
So all my stuff that was through AOL,
Right.
he has
Okay.
on his Gmail account.
Nice.
So I've gone in before and gotten it. So I'll have to make sure I have it.
Yeah,
Okay, final category, video games from 1997.
excellent.
I did the same thing here where I just listed off the video games I liked.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have a great categories thing.
Right.
So I would talk about them.
Okay.
First of all, 1997, the year of the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, the N64 came out in I believe September-ish of 1996.
Yeah. It was definitely for the
Se-
holiday season.
Yeah, September, October, somewhere in there. I've talked about it before where I had pre-ordered it at Toys R Us.
Yep.
And they called, like, I thought it was coming out that Tuesday, and they called on a Sunday afternoon,
You said it's in?
and they said it's in, and 5 of us went to get it, because I didn't have a car as a freshman on campus. So AJ drove, and I was like, well, AJ and I are going to go get it. And, like, my roommate Jeremy McQuality's like, I want to come too. And our next door neighbor Jared's like, I'll come too. And somebody else was like, I'll come too. And so we all went to Toys R Us to get the system and I think a second controller and Mario 64. And that was all the only game I had for it.
Yeah.
For a while.
I think, like, from what I looked up, it seemed like the only game that was out for it. Like in terms of big games.
Yeah, I feel like there was another launch title, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe I don't think it was Pilot Wings,
Maybe it was Pilot Wings. Yeah, that came out right away.
or something. And then
I never played that game, really.
and then Wave Race came out
Oh, yeah.
in November or December, and guys down the hall had it.
That was in 97?
That was in '96. It was
Okay.
before, and I got it for Christmas '96.
Okay, 'cause I
but
didn't
we had
have
already
Wave Race.
played it so much with like on the cartridge that the guys 2 doors down the other way, Jeremy and Rob had, and that it was almost not fun to like try and reset all the records and like because you weren't discovering anything new on your own game.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
not that we didn't play it a lot
Yeah.
for a couple months, but and
a
then
great game.
and then I think my roommate got a PlayStation possibly over spring break.
Yeah.
Like for a while he had Sega CD, and I don't remember the exact timeline when he brought the Sega CD back. Like part of me thinks he had that in the room from November until about March when he brought in a PlayStation, but it's possible he got a PlayStation for Christmas and brought it in.
Yeah.
We did not play a lot of PlayStation games.
I feel like, and I don't know exactly, but a lot of times for Christmas, my Nana and Papa, when we were all kids, because basically there's 9 grandchildren in my family,
Right.
ranging from, I think the youngest one is Sam.
Okay.
So that's 10 years younger than me.
Right.
And I'm the oldest. No, and Lynn is the oldest, my cousin Lynn, and she's just like a little bit older than me.
Right.
So it's like Lynn, going down, Lynn, me, Patrick, Kate. Patrick's my
Right.
cousin. Kate's his sister, also
Right.
my cousin. Denny, my
Right.
brother.
Right.
I don't want to leave anyone out. Then Anthony, my other cousin,
Right.
my Uncle Paul's, and then Elizabeth,
Is Patrick's other
Patrick's
sister?
other sister,
Right.
and then Sam is my other brother.
Okay.
So we have in 10 years, how many grandchildren is that? Like 8, right?
Right.
So we have, is it 8 or 7? 3. No, Michael's in there. Michael's older than Patrick. Michael's younger than Patrick, and Michael's around Patrick's age.
Okay.
So it's 3. It's 9 grandchildren in
Right.
10 years. So you probably almost have one for every year.
Right.
So you can kind of get them different things that are pretty much similar.
Right.
So in terms of like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, NES, all that stuff kind of came all at once for everybody. We all for one Christmas, everyone would get the N64. Everyone would get
Okay.
this. And same thing with Christian. We just happened to get the same kind of things like that. So N64, 1997. I got it for Christmas. In 1996.
Right.
6 days before 1997 started, and all the big games besides Mario, the original Mario 64, came out in 1997. So Turok, Dinosaur Hunter.
Which I never really played.
I loved it. It was up there with
Yeah.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Star Fox 64.
Yep.
Awesome game. Landmark game. GoldenEye 64. Best-selling game for the N64.
Okay.
Diddy Kong Racing, which, like I said, I already touched about my memory for
Right.
that. Mario Kart 64.
Yep.
Clay Fighter 63 and a third, which was okay. I played Madden 64.
Yep.
I played Blitz. And I played Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Do you know what that is?
I do.
It's a side-scrolling
Yep.
beat 'em up with Mortal.
Yep.
It's so weird.
Yep.
And then WCW versus NWO World Tour,
Yeah, that came out towards the end of the year.
which is a wrestling game.
Yeah.
And before I move on, here's a quick thing I got from Wikipedia about WCW versus NWO. Now, this was a wrestling game based on the company WCW,
Right.
which in it had a group of wrestlers called the NWO.
Right.
And so it was like, the whole
Yeah.
WCW versus NWO. Okay, here's from the Wikipedia. In addition to WCW and NWO leagues, Asmic, Ace, and THQ, which were the makers of the game,
Right.
included fictional wrestling promotions Dead or Alive Wrestling, which is a reference to Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling,
Right.
and Independent Union, a reference to International Wrestling Grand Prix. These factions consisted of several fictional characters who are actually Japanese wrestlers that appeared in that country's version of the game.
Wow.
Virtual Pro Wrestling 64. They appear in the American version with names changed due to copyright laws.
Yes.
These Japanese wrestlers include, among other FMW stars, such as Hayabusa,
Yep.
who was renamed Hannibal. And Hayabusa is one of my favorite wrestlers ever.
Yeah.
And Atsushi Onida was renamed Puchteka. I don't know how to say that. As well as future WF stars Takamichi Noku, who goes with the moniker of Black Belt. These characters were also given extravagant profiles in the game's official strategy guide. Abdullah the Butcher, renamed Saladin, is described as a former Afghan Secret Service operative who refused orders to assassinate Mikhail Gorbachev.
Wow.
Crazy, right? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Did you know any of that?
I did not own the game, so I didn't.
Didn't really play that much?
Yeah, I knew the WrestleMania 2000.
Because there are
like,
basically
the
three
W-
iterations of this same game,
Right.
kind of with updated graphics
Yeah.
and different wrestlers.
I remember playing, and I don't remember which WCW versus NWO game. I remember playing that with my brother and his friend Steve. There were two. There was Revenge and there was World Tour.
Oh yeah, Revenge.
And we played.
Was Revenge the second one?
I don't
It
remember.
was the second
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it was.
We played one of them.
So there was 4 iterations of this game.
Yeah.
World Tour, Revenge, WWF 2000, and No Mercy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just remember playing the one, and we had forgotten Chris Benoit's nickname, and it was the Canadian Crippler. And so we just called him the Canadian Bastard.
Yeah, that's right.
And thought it was so fun. But that was when we discovered you can kick out of any pin if you use the stick.
Yeah.
And so you and Lou had matches that went on for hours and hours and hours. We had, and this was the first night we played it. We probably had a 45-minute match until
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I want to go to bed, and we're in my room.
Yeah. Let's talk a little about these games. So Turok, you didn't really play.
No, I didn't.
First person shooter.
The control scheme was different.
Yeah, It was the same as South Park, which
Okay.
I played last night on my computer.
Of course you did.
With my Xbox 360 controller.
Nice.
Turok was really weird. It's first person shooter.
Yep.
You kind of live in a world of dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs, so that was
Right.
fun. And you had arrows that blew up and little guns. It was
Right.
awesome. Star Fox 64 was a flagship series.
I don't think I played that until your house.
Really.
Yep.
Did you ever? You knew about it?
Yeah, I knew.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
That was a flagship series for the 64. And that was one of the ones that tried to show off the 64's graphics.
Right.
GoldenEye,
Yep.
too popular to ignore. Diddy Kong Racing didn't come out till later, and it was kind of a clone of Mario Kart, but
Right.
with airplanes and stuff, which is
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 64, obviously, also
Came out in February. I was putting it on a whole council agendas the weeks leading up to the game's release as significant dates coming up.
Yeah.
Like Megan's birthday.
So did you love Mario Kart for Super Nintendo?
You know what? Honestly, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say I loved it. But
I
I
never
was
played it.
I was really looking forward to the 64 version. And one of our categories in a normal Brammies and Chammies is best purchase of the year. And my
probably
best purchase of the year was Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
If you look at all right, let's say we paid $50 for the game, I would say minimum 500 hours of entertainment. If you're all right, Brad got 24 hours and Q got 20, if you add it all up, and that's a pretty good value.
Yeah, it is. Madden 64, I felt was a little bit I had that and Blitz, so it's
Yeah.
you never want to pick Madden over Blitz.
I wouldn't say that. I played a lot of Madden. I created that was before there was like a
Creative.
salary cap so you could create players. And so I'd be
Okay.
like, Brad Rohr is the quarterback and he's 7 foot tall and 300 pounds and has a 99 speed and 99 and
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
made a team of monsters and just played games with them all the time.
Right. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, I didn't really get much playtime out of. WCW versus NWO, as Brad touched upon. Basically, they revolutionized the gameplay mechanics of wrestling games with
Right.
this game. And it spawned 3 sequels. You know, the rights were bought by WWE, and they
Yep.
had 2 games. And me and Lou became like experts at playing this game. He's
Yep.
better than me. But we would literally have like 3-hour ladder matches. It would be like a triple threat match between me, Jordan, and Lou, or me,
Yeah.
Christian, and Lou, or whatever. And we'd have like a 3-hour match
Yeah.
because we were all so good at it.
Yeah.
We would just stop each other from winning. And I had so much fun playing those games. Other games, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey for,
Okay, I
for
never
PlayStation.
played it.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I know what it is. I never played it.
It's like a side-scrolling kind of like puzzle game, adventure game. And I don't think I played it much in 1997. I don't think we had a PlayStation in 1997. I think
Right.
Denny got one later, but that game came out in that year. Also, for the arcade that year came out The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2, the arcade game,
Right.
which is a Lakeland game.
Right.
And it's easily the best Jurassic Park arcade game that ever came out. Or probably the best Jurassic Park game that ever came
Right.
out. Because I love Lakeland games. And I
Right.
think Jurassic Park, the storyline, is perfect for them.
Right.
But they always come out with these shitty, kind of weird ones. Do you remember the Lost World one? You have
No,
to climb into
not
a
really.
booth and there's curtains on the inside.
I think they still have it at Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, I think that me and someone played it recently.
Right.
By recently, I mean the past couple of years. Also, 1997, House of the Dead original arcade
Oh,
game,
all
which
right.
is awesome.
Yeah.
But that was a crazy year for video games, not because of the amount that came out, but because of the quality level of so many of them.
Right.
These games were all so different.
Yeah.
Like if you know, obviously Turok and GoldenEye were both first-person shooters and
Right.
they're similar. But if you're like, okay, I have Star Fox, GoldenEye, Mario Kart, Mario 64,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, Madden 64 or Blitz, WCW versus NWO. You have all these different things. And like, I think in 2000, probably 4 or 5, every Monday night, me, Jordan, and Christian and Kamara would get together and play NBA Hang Time,
Yep.
NFL Blitz.
I feel like Hang Time came out in 98.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And No Mercy. I'm
Yeah.
talking about way later.
Right, right.
Just to play all those against each other on the N64 in my
Yeah.
house. So these games were like such a good high quality games. They were
Yeah.
so awesome. So like, if I had to pick like my favorite year in gaming, would it be that year? I mean, it's weird because you got to think like last year, Red Dead came out.
Yeah.
What was it, 2010?
I think it was 2010.
So let's say
Because
like,
last year your game of the year was Saints Row 3.
yeah. But there are games like there are years where you have so many more games come out and like there's so much bigger.
See, for me, that was the year of multiplayer gaming and like the
Yeah.
N64
Competitive gaming.
was so
Wave Race is awesome.
was so like conducive to that.
Yes.
Just Mario Kart 64 battle mode. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. When I talked to you last night, we talked about Sheryl Crow, and I said I'd talk about it in the video game section. Friday afternoon, everyone got done with classes kind of early, like noon, 1 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And so we just play Mario Kart like until dinner, and then we'd worry about what we were going to do for that night. So like 4 hours of Mario Kart,
Yeah.
and it would be Puff Puff Give was our rule, where if you lost, you had to give the controller to someone else.
Okay.
And the winner stayed on. And I would win on Friday afternoons with Sheryl Crow playing. I'm not going to say I was undefeated, but it was certainly like very difficult to beat me. Now, there's no rational reason for, and truthfully, it probably happened twice where I had like good runs while Sheryl Crow happened to be playing, but it was like, don't fuck with Brad while he's listening to Sheryl Crow on a Friday. And I would like, which is my motto. It's on my family crest. But it was like that was my thing of like, you know, and if I was losing, I'd put Sheryl Crow on and everyone would be like, oh no, like, and it's such a like what a non like aggressive song, like music background for me to be like, and we just do battle mode.
Every day's a winding road, motherfucker.
Yes. We just do battle mode for hours and hours. And then at the end of the year, the RA, and I might have a copy of that, the RA Dave Thornley wrote a newsletter about like fixing up your room so you didn't get charged. And it was like, so-and-so is going to get charged $10 for this. And Brad and Q are going to get fined $40 for the damage to for the wear and tear to their chairs and floor from so many people playing Mario Kart all the time. And Q was like, is that real? Is he really going to charge us? I'm like, no, he's just kidding. And then I'm like, wait, is he just, so I had to go across the hall and ask him. He was kidding. And it ended up like that was just so much fun. And so when I'm like, oh, was that the best year for games? Well, for me, it was certainly the best semester for games because we have so many positive memories.
That's
but
the thing is positive memory. Maybe not even quality of games. Maybe it's how much that affects you.
Yeah, and my level of responsibility was very low at the time, where it was like pass your classes.
Yeah, I know.
And that was pretty much all I had to worry about. Where
You spend a lot of hours playing video games now.
I still do, but
Yeah.
less than I did.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
And honestly, I look back at then, my roommate and I shared a TV. I had an N64, he had a PlayStation, and I would say that there was never a situation where we got into an argument about whose turn it was to watch TV or play games or whatever. Like, I feel like he had a baseball game that he liked to play, and so I'd come in and be like, oh, you're playing that? Awesome. And I'd go somewhere else for half an hour and then come back, and he'd be like, hey, did you want to play Mario Kart or whatever?
Yeah.
And it was like, we got along so well, and now I see kids with 2 TVs who are like, it's too loud when I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, you guys each have a TV. Like, shut up. I had a 19-inch tube TV.
It took up half the room.
Yeah, like my N64 was hooked in through my roommate's VCR.
Yeah.
Like, so it's that a lot of great games did come out,
Yeah.
and maybe that was like the first year that it was capable of there being great games.
Yeah.
I would say also my brother had FIFA 98 that came out for the PlayStation, and when Brent wasn't home, I could go in his room and play his PlayStation at home. And I'd usually do that on the shorter breaks when I didn't bring my TV or N64 home. So it wasn't like over the summer I played it. So like fall break and Thanksgiving break and early winter break, I would listen to Bad Religion's Stranger Than Fiction CD, and play FIFA 98, like the indoor soccer mode. And that was like in my mind, that's those breaks. That's Brent's room, like set up the way it was. And it eventually became my room and I set it up differently. But that was like I from that year, I also enjoyed the FIFA soccer game, especially the indoor 5-on-5 soccer part. So,
Right.
it's like as we look at all these great N64 games, I don't want to leave that one out.
Right,
So,
I hear ya.
but yeah, I played a ton of Madden 64 in the fall semester and a ton of Mario Kart in the spring semester.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly my playing habits. I just remember each game individually and how far I got. And, back then you were so much more dedicated to weird things like, oh, there's a Donkey Kong mode for GoldenEye if you put it in this code at this time where their heads are huge and their arms are long.
Yeah.
And there's
Paintball mode. Yeah.
And
Where you had to beat a certain level in a certain amount of time. And
yeah. And I played a ton of Mario Kart with everybody. And that was like, me and Christian. And it's weird because like I know that truthfully I fell out of playing video games.
Right.
And I didn't get a GameCube until GameCube was like 2 years old.
Right.
So when was that?
Boy, I don't know, 2003?
Six? No,
I have no idea. Well,
I have no
PlayStation 2 came out in 2000.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
My bad. But so like for years, all I had was that N64. I fell out of video games, and so I think I played it for way longer than most people did because I just wasn't interested in new games. For a long time, that was my stance. I don't want to play new games.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, before Saints Row 1, I was like, new games are too complicated. I'm not going to be good at them.
That's funny.
And Sam had me pick up, for some reason, Patrick, when he worked at GameStop, he convinced me to get an N60, to 360 because they were doing a trade bonus where I would basically get it for free, and I did. And Sam was like, can you pick up Saints Row for me? I heard it was good. And I did, but I never gave it to him. Like that night, like I probably picked it up at 7 o'clock and got home at like 11 o'clock.
Right.
I was like, I'll try Saints Row. First time I ever played like a newer video game because like Guitar Hero was really my link to new video games.
Right.
First time I ever tried to play an actual video game that wasn't like a Guitar Hero. I put it in at like 11:30. I was like, I'll try this game before I go to bed.
Right.
7 a.m.
Wow.
Is when I stopped playing, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I loved it so much, and that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
I told it most of it.
Yes. I was just thinking about the people around in the fall of '97, and I'm looking at this tentative roster. Basically, we applied for RAs, and then like on move out day, all the hall directors got together and they kind of hired their staffs, and then we'd get a letter, and I have my copy of the letter, and it's dated June 2nd, so I probably got it around June 6th or June 7th, June 8th. And so the roster here, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh man, let's see how many of these people I remember, or how many of these girls I thought were cute. And there's a name in Williams Hall, which is where I was, that I'm like, I don't recognize that name at all. And I think she ended up not being an RA. And I'm like, all right, if Joanna was on that floor, and Melissa was on that floor, and Katie Weber was on that floor, and Christine Venko was on that floor, and Allie was with Christine, and Janine was with Katie, and they're like, wait a minute, who replaced this girl? And I'm like, oh, all right, Colleen Martins did. but Colleen was on a guy's floor. So, like, intentionally, they're like, Colleen's cool. She'll get along fine. Anthony's her ARA. They got along really well. And then I started hanging out with Anthony in the spring of 98. But I'm like, man, like, whatever happened to that girl or other names on here I don't recognize? And
You gotta find him.
no, I really don't. It's weird. Like, I definitely have.
What if I had all the people waiting on the outside and I was like, Brad, for our 1997 flashback podcast, I got all these people to come here and talk to you.
I'd recognize most of them. Honestly.
hey.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Hey.
deuces.
Yeah. Like it's weird thinking about that year. And like I met there was a girl who was a cheerleader, and I had freshmen on my floor, and she was friends with them, and so like I eventually became friends with her, like sort of, and then like became better friends with her the following year because I had a class with one of her friends. And, I was never really romantically interested in her, but I was like, oh, it's cool that I know a cheerleader. And I was definitely lustily interested in another cheerleader that, surprise, surprise, I never made an actual move, although I probably wrote a story about her.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's weird to think about 1997, like in those terms, like, oh, yeah, I guess I did sort of meet that girl at that time.
Yeah.
There was a website called swoon.com that was like they had personals on it, and I think that the guys on my floor did a fake personal that I responded to, and they wrote back a couple times, and then they saw how excited I was about it, and they just dropped it.
Yeah, I remember. I think you told me about that.
Yeah. And I don't know if that was 97 or 98, but I like looking at it now, I don't believe that it was serious, but at the time I was like, I can't believe I just met a girl online. Like, that's so crazy. Yeah. How do you meet girls online through a personals ad online? Like, it was so weird.
Yeah. Remembering the AOL chats now, I'm kind of like, man, how like disgusting did my chats get with these girls when I was 12 and 13?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
right.
weird. I'm like,
See, I feel like I was introduced to Merc chatting, which was not through AOL. It was through like Internet Relay Chat.
Yeah.
IRC or whatever. And it was, mine never got too ridiculous, but I remember there was a guy at work who got internet and was addicted, like 8 hours a night and staying up all night and whatever, chatting. And one of the girls we worked with was dating one of the guys, a different guy, and they were at his house, and she signed on and she chatted with this guy, and they were talking about her boobs and stuff, and they printed out the chat and brought it into work so we could all laugh at him.
Nice.
Yep.
That's Brad for you.
Wait a minute. I just laughed.
I barely had anything to do with that, sorry.
Yes, I barely laughed, and I was like, "That's so mean. How could you?" Oh wow, it says here your boobs are double D's. She's like, "No, they're D cups." I'm like, "Oh okay." She's like, "You'd know if they were double D's." I'm like, "Honestly, I wouldn't."
Yeah.
Like, I understand the measurements, but I don't.
I'm pretty good at guessing measurements.
I'm not. So yeah, 1997 was
Quite a year.
Was a weird year. It's so funny for me to hear you talk about your 8th grade year and me not compare it to my 8th grade year.
Yeah.
Or 7th going into 8th grade about, who did I have a huge crush on? That that was the year I went to my first dance, and like, oh, Liz Morgan and all that, and
yeah,
none of those panned out like I'd hoped. Amy Rosen. But so it goes.
Yes.
So that was 1997.
Yes. A year in review.
A flashback from Chuck and Brad, the Brammies and Chammies, the Chammies and Brammies.
Yes.
If you have other thoughts about 1997, if you want to relate a story about one of us, to one of us, whatever, that's fine.
Maybe I'll send this to some people that I knew.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, like, it's weird to be like, hey, Janine, I was so attracted to you 15 years ago,
and I'm still talking about it.
And now we're friends. Like, I know your husband. I've met your child.
Yeah.
That's a little weird, but I'm sure Chad is going to have specific memories from that second semester of freshman year, and maybe his input on the breakup.
I'd love some input from anybody. Bowman, whoever.
Yep.
I'll probably send this to a couple people. I think I don't know. I might.
I hope one of those 12-year-olds that you had a crush on as a 12-year-old writes back and they're like, I had a crush on you too.
Me too. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh man.
How do I send this to those girls?
Yeah. That's funny.
But thank you all for listening.
Yeah, it was quite a trip down memory lane.
Next week we should be back with a relatively regular podcast, I hope.
Yeah.
It'll be weird because I'll be coming in from a vacation, and
we'll figure it out.
I'm sure we'll get a chance to record. So
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, email chuckandbrad@gmail.com. We'll be happy to read your email, laugh at you privately, and then laugh at you publicly.
Yep. There you go.
You got everything?
I think I'm done.
Deuces.
Can't stop.